And we are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. You could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me live on the show, and I appreciate y'all for that. We got a whole lot going on all over the mainstream media, social media, everywhere, and I don't know where to start. First of all, Shannon Sharpe, you got to be more careful. We're talking about him and the allegations and the series of allegations against people just like him, from the ambulance chaser, Tony Busby. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, there appears to be a love affair with the Democratic Party and MS-13 gang members, illegal aliens, things of this nature. Rather than visiting veterans in the hospital, rather than visiting angel moms, rather than visiting people like this, they want to go to, Louisiana to visit detained migrants. They want to go to El Salvador to visit detained MS-13 gang members. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, Trump proposes a $5,000 baby bonus. Is it going to be enough? Is it going to make sense? We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. And also, there are so many protests. I don't even know what's what. So many weird protests. Some of them are paid. I think most of these protests are paid, because we see what happens when the protest is not paid. Nobody shows up, like the whole Austin Metcalf kerfuffle. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. And we got quite a few videos, quite a few things to discuss that I have not discussed on the show as of yet. All of those things and more will be on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And thank y'all again for joining. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you're hearing thus far, if you enjoy the content in general, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Wow, we got a whole lot going on. And part of my tardiness, the white man got me yet again. The white man helped me up. But I'm here. I'm here, and I'm ready to get rocking and rolling. Hopefully everything is good here. I'm looking at my YouTube, and it's telling me weird things, talking about, oh, the audio is lower than the recommended bit rate. If the sound is good, everything's good, audio, visual, y'all let me know in the comments. But we got a whole lot going on. Oh, no, we not going down that road, Kirsten. We are leaning into positivity. We're not going down that road, talking about that story no more. I made a promise to myself. I'm not going to bring it up. I kind of did bring it up a little bit, but that was an accident. That wasn't my fault. I got to blame the white man for that. We are leaning into positivity a little teeny bit. Shannon Sharpe, you know what? I got to really put my energy back into my Uncle ABL channel. I kind of had been stop and go with it, because I want to be very careful when I really get going. I wanted to help a lot of young guys out there and the older guys out there like Shannon Sharpe. Shannon Sharpe needs to listen to Uncle ABL and other guys. Shout out Coach Greg Adams. He needs to listen, because he has to understand what's happening out here in this world. People talking about, oh, he's such an old guy, 56 years old. Why is messing with a 19-year-old, all this, that, and the third? That really don't matter. At the end of the day, you're both adults. It really don't matter. The problem is, you have to understand that when you have a lot of money, or you have some kind of success, or you're some kind of way famous, you become a target, and you got to protect yourself. It don't matter what color you are. You could be black, white, Puerto Rican, the candy stripe. You can become a target, and you got to protect yourself. You'd be surprised what people will do to you when they sniff money. Okay, they see a news report, Shannon Sharpe, $100 million for a podcast. Oh, I need some of that $100 million. Yeah, I'm gonna need $50 million of that. I'm gonna concoct a story with the ambulance chaser, Tony Busby. This dude, Tony Busby, man, it's like, what is going on? Why is this guy from, where's he from? Dallas or Houston? Somewhere in Texas. Why is this guy representing people that have cases in California, New York, Florida? It's like, who is this guy? Ambulance chaser supreme. There's quite a few ambulance chasers out there, and I think at a certain point they become very popular for ambulance chasing. It's crazy. Like back in my day, if you were an ambulance chaser, it was a disgrace. You were kind of like seen as pathetic. But now Some of these ambulance chasers have become very popular. Your Ben Crumps of the world, your Tony Busby, going back to some of the race hucksters like Al Sharpe, Jesse Jackson. These guys have become famous. These guys have become the icons. The grifters and the hucksters have become the celebrities. It's really weird. People that do this, take advantage of people, concoct stories, try to hide behind Jane Doe and all these aliases, need to get thrown up under the penitentiary. Puff Daddy, the lawsuits against him from Busby are phony. And I think they were done because it's believable. Hey, Puff Daddy is already locked up for whooping Cassie and other things. So why can't he do this thing over here as well? It's not right. It's not okay. This whole thing of attacking people just to get some money with false allegations, it's terrible. Also, when you attack someone litigiously through the legal system, when you attack them to try and affect political outcomes, Donald Trump, the whole lawfare thing. Okay, you got people like Letitia James. Is that her name? Letitia James. Okay, this lady talking about some, well, since you overvalue your property, I'm going to find you in some kind of way liable. How are you going to say that I overvalue my property? I can say my house is worth X, my car is worth Y, this is worth that. I can say whatever I want to say. I can say my house is worth $100 million. At the end of the day, it's up to the bank, it's up to the appraiser, it's up to third parties to agree with me or disagree with me. If I say something and they look into it, they check, they're going to cross their T's and dot their I's. When you're talking about millions of dollars on the line, they're going to make sure they're doing the right thing. So if they did right, that means I did right. And when I get the loan, I pay all the money back. And I've gotten other loans from the same people in the same way, and I always paid my money. It's to the point where there was no need to even say anything about property. It's kind of a formality. So you want to find me liable for that and charge me $500 million and counting with interest? It's ridiculous. This whole thing of lawfare, frivolous lawsuits to attack somebody, to affect them politically, to get some money in your own pocket, it should be an illegal practice. If it is found out that there was some kind of collusion going on or some kind of lawfare happening, the person engaging in the lawfare needs to get thrown up under the penitentiary. The big rocks and little rocks need to be on top of their head at a certain point to keep them under the penitentiary. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, I don't like that. I think that's what's happening right now to Shannon Sharpe and a bunch of other guys out here in the streets. They're being attacked with frivolous lawsuits just to get money. I think Coach Greg Adams said it. He was like, look, lawsuits are the new divorce. If a man is with a young lady and he doesn't get married to her, but he's with her for a few months, a year, whatever it is, and he wants to break things off, ooh, all of a sudden you attack me. Ooh, all of a sudden you did X, Y, and Z to me. Now I'm going to need some money. And there's never any kind of criminal allegations. If you say that somebody assaulted somebody, you know what should happen? You got to call the police. Hey, police. Yeah, this dude, he did X, Y, and Z to me. Come get him. Come throw him away. That's what it should be. It shouldn't just be, let me call the ambulance chaser. Yeah, let me call Tony Busby. Why would you do that? You call him because you know that there's a chance you'd be able to get a big bag of money. You called the ambulance chaser to go chase the ambulance for you. That's what you did. You didn't call the police because where's the money in that? Justice? Why do I want justice? I want money. I'm trying to get a house, a car. I'm trying to take care of my whole family. I'm trying to not work ever again in my life. I got an OnlyFans page. I don't want to do that no more. I don't want to show my hind parts to strangers, sweaty neck beards, married dudes no more. I want to retire right now, and you're going to be the guy to do it. I don't like that at all. But again, if you listen to me and my advice, these people, they are, I don't want to say easily spotted, but there are some things you can do to avoid being in a situation, have written agreements, NDAs, have a financial arrangement. Okay, here's your allowance. You're going to get X, Y, and Z. Have everything written down. If there's any kind of squabbling, fighting going on, don't do it. Any kind of squabbling, any kind of fighting, you know what? Hey, we're not going to talk anymore. We're pretty much done at that moment. The first argument, you're done. ABL, that's too harsh. Well, look, hey, it's what has to happen. It's what has to happen. Somebody says you're projecting. Projecting? I ain't never been sued for $100 million or whatever the case may be. I ain't never been sued before. I ain't never been in court like that. Why? Because I understand how to maneuver. I don't play them kind of games. And first, and beyond that, I don't have $100 million to give. If you want to sue me, like I said in my video, you're going to get some chapstick, you're going to get some coconut water, and you're going to get this cell phone. That's all I got. That's all I got. If you're going to sue me, hey, in court, I'm going to come there with a case of coconut water. I'll be like, look, judge, listen, hear me out. However the case goes, understand this. All I got is that right there. So if you want that, you can have it. If you want it, you can have it. But I mean, you can just go to Costco and buy that. Why you gotta sue me for it? I don't got nothing for you. Okay. So yeah. Please protect yourself out here, young men, older guys in general. It's crazy. The laws are against you. The ambulance chasers, they're going to be chasing the ambulance. They're going to be in your house, private investigating, trying to find out where you live at, trying to put cameras on you, taking pictures. Ain't nobody got time for that. Nobody has time for that. Amber Heard. Now, the Amber Heard thing, I didn't really follow that case like that. So I don't know too much about it. I don't know too much about Amber Heard. Now, maybe y'all know more about me. But what wasn't Amber Heard that want to doo-doo in the bed? I mean, clearly, if she's doo-dooing in your bed, there's something wrong. And maybe you saw some signs of her being a little bit off, 50% off, 75% off before the bed doo-doo happened. Maybe you saw a sign before the maybe you saw some signs before the doo-doo in the bed was laid. I'm just saying. I am just saying. Try to blame the Yorkie. No, I can't blame the Yorkie, man. The Yorkie didn't do it. The Yorkie didn't do anything. But Shannon Sharpe, man, you gotta be more careful, man. You got high visibility. You're a megastar. You getting millions of dollars. There's gonna be people out there that are trying to get your money, and they're gonna try to get it in a variety of ways. It's much more sophisticated now than it was during the NFL days, because now people got social media. All they gotta do is release something. It'll go viral. Now you got a problem. That wasn't really a possible thing back in the day. Shannon Sharpe was famous before the internet even existed in the early 90s with the Broncos. It's different now. Social media, things can spread like that. In the blink of an eye, your whole world can come crashing down. So you got to be more careful out here in these streets. She was 19 when they met. Oh, here's something else I wanted to say about the whole 19-year-old, 56-year-old. It doesn't really matter how old she is, because you could be 19, 29, 39, 49, and still do something like this to a man. We saw E. Jean Carroll. How old is she? She might be older than Trump is, and came out and said, oh, Trump did X, Y, and Z to me 100 years ago. You just have to move a certain way. And of course, Trump does move a certain way. There's all kind of things in place, which is why all the allegations against him went nowhere. It went nowhere. Remember all the Stormy Daniels? Remember all of that stuff? It went nowhere. Brett Kavanaugh is another example. Remember, what was that? Christine Blasey Ford talking about, yeah, he was 18 years old, drinking beer. That was funny, that whole thing. Oh, he's 18, drinking beer. Heavens to Betsy. Yeah, the legal age was 18 back then, but they tried to say that Brett Kavanaugh assaulted this woman back then. This man was such a Boy Scout and so smart and so aware of himself. This man had a calendar that was a diary. He documented where he was, what he was doing, what day he did it on a calendar. And he was so nice to everybody and such a Boy Scout. You had 100 women come out on camera and speak in Brett Kavanaugh's favor. I mean, That's how you do it right there. Treat everybody nice, treat everybody with respect, be a good person, and that's going to be able to shine through. But if you got kind of a shaky track record, you're treating people bad, you crashing out on people, it might work against you. I'm not saying that, Shannon, but I'm saying in general, you got to behave that way. Okay, you have to behave that way. Hold on, I'm going to read some of these comments right here. Yeah, heavens to Betsy. He's 18 years old drinking beer. Oh, my goodness. I'm like, man, please stop. Shout out to Brett Kavanaugh. Brett Kavanaugh, definitely a good Supreme Court justice. Now, Amy Coney Barrett is a little, she a little shaky there. I don't know. Little teeny bit shaky. All right. Yeah. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. That's right, HP Benin. HP Benin says Trump is a teetotaler for a reason. Exactly. Trump doesn't drink, doesn't smoke, doesn't do anything like that. Because why? When you're drinking, especially, it can alter your mood. It can make you depressed, but it can also lower your inhibitions. And if you have lower inhibitions, sometimes you're going to do things that you wouldn't normally do, that you probably shouldn't do, and you're going to regret it in the morning. And you may be with someone who is the same kind of way, drinking and whatnot, lower inhibitions. I get up in the morning. I didn't want to do that. You assaulted me. Don't nobody got no time for that. Nobody has time for that. So please, please, please protect yourselves out here. Even if you're not super mega rich right now, it doesn't really matter because number one, you never know who you're going to become in the future. And number two, even if you're not ever 100 millionaire, Elon Musk, you still have something to lose. You still have your life, and your life is precious regardless of how much money you have. It doesn't matter how much cash you have. Your life is still precious. Please protect it. All right. But shout out to y'all. And shout out to you guys who were on the Instagram live on last night. That was fun. I think I'm going to do Instagram lives every Tuesday. So you're hearing it right here. My goal is to do an Instagram live every Tuesday. And I'm going to get back into my Uncle ABL once I can really focus on my direction I want to take it in, because I want to educate people. That's my whole purpose of being here. I want to educate. You know, I got a really good message the other day from an old friend back when I was like in my early 20s. And my man, I think I said it before, but he was like, hey, man, I appreciate you being around me. You made an impact in my life. This was way before YouTube. I was young. I was like probably about 19, 20. Okay, so when I get those kind of messages, it's just like, okay, now I understand what I got to do. I got to just teach people. I got to educate people about a lot of different things in life. And hopefully you could take what I say and have it benefit your life. One thing I always talk about, the big backs, the fat people, the 1,000-pounders, the 10,000-pound Lithuanian people in their basement covered in borscht. I talk about that quite a bit. And some of you guys have called me and said, hey, man, I took your advice on their weight loss. I lost 70 pounds. I lost X amount of pounds. I like that. That's my purpose, is to really just teach. But anyway, oh yeah, I'm on Instagram, Shaquille Oatmeal. Don't I say it in my intro? Speaking about intros, shout out to you guys for watching. You guys are the best sponsors of the show for watching, retweeting, super chatting, whatever you're doing. You guys are the first sponsors of the show. But shout out to my other sponsors. Shout out to patriotpost.us, your best source of news and information anywhere on these interwebs. Their link will be in the box as always, or you could just go to patriotpost.us, tell them that ABL sent you. Go to the merch website, ablmerch.com. That is ablmerch.com. We got the hats, the t-shirts, the stickers, the hoodies, the mugs, and more right there on the website, ablmerch.com. Again, ablmerch.com. And shout out to the white man here for gifting 10 ABL memberships. Shout out to you, boss. I appreciate you for that. Definitely a good move by our good friend, the white man. But also go to my regular website, anthonyblogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. Go to the front page of the website. You'll be able to see articles for each video that I produce. And in each article, I got sources from the left, from the right, from the center, from the politically agnostic, from Democratic, Republican, local, national, international, whatever you want, I got it. As long as it's legal, and available. It'll be right there on the front page of my website, anthonyblogan.com. Also, please go to the contact page of the website, anthonyblogan.com/contact-us. There you'll be able to find my email address, my snail address, my UPS box, of course, my social media accounts, my Facebook, Instagram. Speaking about Instagram, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, never going to call it X, TikTok. All my links are right there on the contact page of the website, anthonyblogan.com/contact-us. And as I was saying earlier, my goal every Tuesday is to do an Instagram Live. Instagram Live is a little bit more intimate. It's more personal, I guess you would say. I'm not really going through clips and talking about news. I'm not taking calls. I'm just talking straight to people who are commenting. And eventually, I guess what I'm going to do is bring people on with the dual or the quad, whatever they got. I'll probably do stuff like that. I also have a podcast appearance coming up pretty soon. And once that gets finalized, I'll let you guys know. And it'll be an in-person podcast. I enjoy doing some of the Zoom stuff I did back in the day during COVID, especially with Brandon Tatum, all these guys. Back in the O'Shea Duke Jackson days, back in the Rumble days, back when we had Kevin Samuels and Alpha Male Strategies and everybody like that. Phil Advice Show, those are good times. But I think I personally enjoy the in-person podcast more because I like you to be able to feel my energy for real in person. It's different. It's a different kind of conversation, just like the Hodge Twins podcast. That was a whole lot of fun, and it was fun straight from the beginning because I could be right here and I can see you. It's different, just like the whole thing with the chapstick. I'm like, y'all sharing chapstick? That's a moment that really happens in person. So I got an in-person podcast coming up very soon, within the next couple of weeks. Once we get that finalized, I'll let you guys know, and I'll probably post a link to it once it's finished. But that's going to be a very, very good one. So be on the lookout for that. Did I see Tim pull up the White House? No, I didn't. But was he there for the Easter egg roll? I'm not sure why he was there. Yeah. So shout out to everybody that goes to the White House. I've not had a White House invitation in a long time. Since the last Trump administration. And I know why. We got some haters that want to block the list. Nobody y'all would know, but it's people behind the scenes that want to hate. It's fine. I'll eventually get to the White House sometime probably this year through a back channel. I got to make some calls and be like, yo, your man is tripping. He's hating on me. He's been hating for a long time. Get me on the list. So hopefully we can just go ahead and get past that block. But yeah, it's a crazy world, man. People want to hate on you. I don't know why, but it's fine. And then, of course, I did sign up for the whole press room thing. So if I can get on that, then we're going to be in there. So I'll keep you guys updated. Also, for my gold play button, I've been contacting YouTube, like I told you guys before, or maybe you guys weren't here when I said it, but what they're telling me is I'm still on the probationary period from my previous warning on my channel. And the way it works, it's a strike system on YouTube. And before you get a strike, you get a warning. But it behaves as a strike, if that makes any sense. Meaning it doesn't count as an official strike. Because if you get 3 strikes in 90 days, your channel gets deleted and it's over. A warning is a precursor to the 3 count. But I had a warning on my channel because during 2020, they were not liking anybody that said anything about the election being interfered with. And all I did in 2020 was just show Trump talking about it. And that was enough to get a warning. I took a class on YouTube to get the warning taken off, but they say that it still takes a year for the warning to clear out of the system. So after that period of time, then I'll be eligible to get the play button. It's weird, but whatever. It is weird. Lucas says you have black fatigue. Hey, if you got black fatigue, I don't know why you're here, because you don't get too much blacker than ABL. I mean, unless you're going to go to some African guy channel, and he going to be just as black as me. But they go to sound like this. They go to look like ABL, but they go to sound like this. Idiot. Why are you here if you have black fatigue? Yeah, so if you got black fatigue, you in the wrong. You better go to Tim Pool you better go to Steven Crowder with his funny beard and his chops. You better go over there. If you got black fatigue, it's like, bro, it's like me saying I got white fatigue, yet I'm over at Daily Wire watching they stuff. It's like, well, I'm kind of in the wrong place. If I'm watching Matt Walsh looking like my man from Home Improvement, that's a lot of white fatigue going on right there. Yeah, that make a lot of sense. Yeah, it's crazy. But shout out to you, bro. If you got black fatigue, that's fine. You might be in the wrong place. I don't know what to do, man. Like, are you lost? Do you need a map? You want me to call your parents? I need to get on the intercom. We got a lost child, Al 4. Lost child, Al 4. What's your name? Lucas. Lucas. He wants his mom. Al 4. Lost child. If you need that, bro, I got you. Don't worry about it. Look, I am here for you. Don't worry about it. But yeah, if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Somebody said, Extra Ill says, what are we talking about? Lucas in the chat says, Lucas Jackson says he has black fatigue. So I was just saying, maybe he's in the wrong place. Maybe he's lost. And I got it. And then he said, I'm whiter than him. Please stop. Please stop. Please stop. You know, it's funny. I know he's just probably trolling, but it's funny because sometimes on the internet, somebody would try to accuse me of being, you're really a white guy. It's like, nobody ever says that to me in my real life. In my real life, every day, there's a constant reminder that I'm a big, tall black guy. It's never like, oh, you know what? When I saw you, this 6'3", dark-skinned black dude, I thought you were a white guy. And your voice sounds so white. I never heard that in my life. But anyway, shout out to you guys for being here. Most certainly appreciate y'all. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay, so check it out. I'm going to show what Shannon Sharpe said about a situation. It's not really too crazy, too X-rated, but I just want to show this right quick, and then we're going to move on, okay? I promise. But it is a hot story, so I got to cover it a little teeny bit.
To my family, friends, supporters, and colleagues, I want to speak to you directly and from the heart. This is a shakedown. I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself because this isn't right. This is all being orchestrated by Tony Buzbee, who has targeted Jay-Z. Tony Buzbee targets black men, and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of a sex tape that tries to make me look guilty. And
let's pause for a second. Now, the thing about Tony Buzbee targeting black celebrities, I said that back in October of 2024. I said that. I said the exact same thing. My tweet was, I wonder who's the next black male entertainer that Tony Buzbee will have in his crosshairs. Here's the answer. I said it. I called it. Because it was so obvious. Anytime you hear about Tony Buzbee and a high-profile lawsuit, it's always a black male entertainer. Football player, basketball player, rapper. And my video, I'm like, hopefully he doesn't try to get me. But like I said, if you try to get me, all I got for you is this. All I got for you is coconut water. So, hey, Buzbee, if you want to sue ABL, you might as well just go do something with your life. You might as well go fishing. You would get more out of going fishing than trying to sue ABL.
I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of a sex tape that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine. That video should actually be 10 minutes or so. Hey, Tony, instead of releasing your edit, put the whole video out. I don't have it, or I would myself. You know what happened, and you're trying to manipulate the media. The encounter in question took place during the day at her invitation, and now that appears to be a deliberate setup, coordinated by Gabby, also known as Carly on OnlyFans.
Now, some are saying, okay, why is he with an OnlyFans girl, all this, that, and the Listen, if you only knew what your girl did before you met her, I'll leave it right there.
Gabby and Tony Buzbee want $50 million. What they're getting is sued for defamation and trying to take me down. My career is all about real talk and honesty. I know my family and fans know exactly what this is about. And I'm going to be out there telling you whatever I need to say, just like I always do. I love all you guys. Thanks.
So there we go. That's Shannon Sharpe's statement about the whole situation. And if you guys don't know, there's a lawsuit, $50 million from a young lady that he had a relationship with. And she says that he assaulted her on 2 different occasions. Okay, here's my question. If someone assaults you one time, why not go to the police or at least stop dealing with the guy? If somebody assaults you, why are you still with him? What are we doing? And then he does it again after the first time? It doesn't make any sense. You got recordings of him on the phone. You got tapes you done recorded. You sending it to the lawyer. You're trying to get some money. You're trying to get some money. But like I said to Shannon, well, not to Shannon. Like I said on the show, if Shannon could hear me, I don't know Shannon Sharpe at all. I don't have his number. Never met Shannon before in my life, so don't make that rumor happen. But like I said, you have to have some kind of arrangement in writing, and you can't be dealing with these girls that's squabbling, arguing, carrying on, acting the fool. You can't do it because those are the types that will do something to you as far as a false allegation to get some money. $50 million. And the funny part is that the lawsuit was announced 2 to 3 days after the rumor, the report, or whatever about Shannon Sharpe getting $100 million on the podcast deal. How convenient. Headlines, Shannon Sharpe, $100 million in the podcast deal. 2 days later, $50 million lawsuit. We all know what's going on. We all know what's going on. So yeah, shout out to Shannon. Hopefully everything works out well. Now, this video is much different. It's much more wholesome to lighten the mood a little bit. Have you guys seen this? Now, this is kind of going viral because you have these twins in Australia who it was like they were talking as one person. It's really crazy to watch. And hopefully they don't try to do me no copyright strike on this, but you gotta watch this. Check it out.
He was coming back down towards us,
and he goes, run, he's got a gun. And we heard these big bangs.
Hold on. I gotta start from the top because I gotta give you guys the context. So here's the context. Their mother was victim of an attempted carjacking in Australia. So this is them describing the carjacking attempt. All right, let's start from the top.
And he was coming back down towards us,
and he goes, run, he's got a gun. And we heard these big bang. We said, oh no, another car accident. So we dropped everything and we went running out the front.
We seen Mum running out from the house up there, and then other cars were pulling up and checking to see if the person was okay. And one guy, he was up there with our mum, and he went up there and he was coming back down towards us, and he goes, run, he's got a gun. And our heart started to pound, and I said, oh Mum, where's Mum? And poor Mum was stuck up there, but apparently our brave Mum, she goes, are you all right? Because he had all blood all over his face. And he goes, I'll shoot you. She goes, hey, I'm here to help. And Mum distracted him to make him look the other way, and he looked the other way, and Mum ran into the bush behind the fence. And the guy goes to her, I'll find you and I'll shoot you. All I was thinking about when we were running, I hope he doesn't fire. Yeah, we were so blessed.
How close to him do you think you were?
Well, see, he was up there, and we were past our driveway.
So maybe 100 metres.
Yeah. You don't think of all of that at the time. No, you just run for your safety.
All righty, so shout out to them again. That was out there in Australia. Wow. Hey, I mean, do we have any twins in the house? Is it that like symbiotic? You're just pretty much one person. That was wow. It was like it might as well have just been one person saying that right there, but it was really 2 people. That's crazy how much y'all are in sync, how your brains just connected like that. I don't know the feeling, but any twins out there, let me know. Is that accurate? Is that on point? Is that how you guys talk? Y'all let me know. But yeah, nah, that's 100% real. It's a real thing. That's real. out there in Australia. It's viral. It's all over the place. Like, it's a real news report. I saw the news report, and they were just describing the carjacking. And, you know, they appear to be a little bit older, probably like 50, 60, something like that. So they've been around for a long time. They're wearing the same outfit. You see what I'm saying? So they're pretty much like the same person at a certain point. So yeah, shout out. Is it kind of creepy? Not creepy. Yeah. But nah. Hold on. Jay says twins are different. I dated one once. Yes. They are most certainly different. Are they part of a cult? Nah. Yeah, but Hodge twins, being around the Hodge twins, you could tell that they're different. They're different. They're the same, but different. Their personalities are distinguishable. So if you're around them a lot, you could tell who's who by their personality. They are most certainly different. Yeah, it was crazy to see it. Human beings are an interesting bunch. I tell you what. Hold on. Ken to the Wind says, 20 here. This does not happen. Hey, well, we got a twin. And I think sometimes the paternal twins are different than the identical twins. Hold on. Dude says, I've seen a few people that look exactly like ABL too in the real world. Man, I get that every day, all the time. And depending upon how much I weigh at a certain point or how my hair is styled, if I got a clean shave, if I got the bald head, whatever, I look like every dark-skinned black celebrity. I'd have been called Morris Chestnut, Jadakiss, Shaq, any Bokeem Woodbine. If you look these guys up, you'll see it. You'll be like, oh, okay, I see ABL right there. I seen guys in the street that look like me. I'd be like, is that me? Guys will post pictures of them as kids. I'd be like, where you get that? I thought it was me. I saw Eric July post a picture of himself when he was a baby or a little kid. I was like, is that me? My heart stopped. I saw the picture on Twitter. I'm like, are you still in my pictures, bro? But it was him. But it looked just like me when I was a kid. It was crazy. Alrighty. Now, let's keep moving here. Speaking about some of the big backs. All right. This person, I think I've shown her before. She's talking about how she may not be the appropriate size for a Waymo. And when I say appropriate size, I mean her back is a little bit too big for a Waymo. That's a driverless vehicle. Check it out.
I'm too fat to safely ride in a Waymo, and you might be too. It's your favorite queer automotive educator, and recently, my wife and I took our first spin in the self-driving rideshare service. I had concerns, but was cautiously optimistic about the experience. After loading up our suitcases and getting comfortable, I buckled my seatbelt. No way I was riding in a futuristic self-driving machine without it. And bam, the seatbelt clicked and immediately locked. Okay, it happens. Let me try again. Removing my seatbelt instantly made the car scream at me. But you know, I had to. The seatbelt locked yet again almost instantly. Damn it. And before you think I'm the problem, we're just too damn fat for this car, the seatbelt locked on my smaller wife too. Fat people deserve a safe, comfortable ride just like anyone else. Waymo, you need to provide seatbelt extenders. It's as simple as that. They're relatively inexpensive and should simply be in the car for customers to use when they're needed. And while we're on the subject of seatbelt extenders, being an ally to the fat people in your life means you too should have a seatbelt extender because they're not universal. A quick Google search or call to your local parts department at the dealership will let you know if the car manufacturer makes them. And if they don't, you can get it from seatbeltextenderpros.com for $20 to $30.
Okay, now look, that was funny talking about, now first of all, why are they always LGBT? Why is that always a thing? Hold on. Why are they always LGBT? Like, you 1,000 pounds already. This is like my 600-pound life right here. You already got a big back. Then you want to be LGBT on top of that. Then you say, oh, well, it's not us. It's because my wife, she is smaller and the seatbelt didn't fit on her. Well, I don't know if you got a pair of eyes here, Miss Lady, but she might be a little bit of a big in herself. She's a little hefty, a little plus size herself. All righty. maybe instead of the Waymo driverless sedan, you should have got a driverless Sprinter van, a driverless school bus, a driverless F-350, a dually. I put you in the back of the bed. Hey, check it out. I come to the airport to get you, and you 1,000 pounds. Hey, let's get a cherry picker, put a strap on you, a harness, hook you up, right in the back of the bed you go. You're not gonna fly out. You weigh a lot. You be just fine. Your luggage be right there beside you. You good. Don't worry about it. I got you. So the next time you got to go to the airport, you need a ride to or fro. I got the F-150. Okay, I'll go get my friend's dually. I'll swap it out. All right, bro. Take my F-150, my regular one. Let me get your 350 with the dually. I gotta get my fat friends from the airport. So yeah, shout out to them. Seatbelt extender, nah, back of the bed. That's what we doing. Yeah, so shout out to them. Hey, it kind of reminds me of this right here, right? Remember? Yeah, Dank the Moss. Let's not be big backs in 2025. We gotta do better. We gotta tighten up. Now, this right here is crazy. These people scare me. You already know what's going on. I don't gotta say nothing. You already can see this individual. You know what's happening. Let's check this out and see what this person is mad about.
With most men, is that we are a threat to their masculinity. They don't like us because we've rejected the masculine side. And
you have not rejected the masculine side, bro. You looking like Fabio. Your jaw is blocky as blocky could be. You looking like a Minecraft character, bro. I mean, your traps, all of that is crazy, but hold on, let's keep on going.
Going towards our female side. Now, you can imagine, if I walked into a bathroom looking like this, a men's toilets looking like this, I'm just asking for trouble. You know, it only takes one obnoxious idiot to dislike what I'm doing. Or
what if a woman did that, though?
A woman wouldn't do it. End of. So why should I? So I've just used the female toilets down at Waterloo Station. None of the women batted an eyelid when I walked in there. I've got no problem with going in the ladies' toilets. They've got no problem with me going in there. So I am not going to stop going in there. Unless one person, one woman in that toilet turns around to me and says, could you use another toilet? In which case I'll come out and I'll wait till she's done and I'll go back in there and say, anyone else object to me using the lid? With most...
Bro, okay. The women won't say anything to you because they're afraid. They're not trying to have you crash out. We didn't see the trans rage. The trans rage is the new roid. Remember roid rage from the 90s? Trans rage is the new roid rage. So they're not going to say anything to you because they're not trying to get beat down by the Incredible Hulk in the bathroom. They're not trying to get assaulted by the Incredible Hulk in the bathroom. You talking about some, oh, if one person says something, I'm going to leave, then I'm going to come back. Like, yo, anybody got a problem with it? That's aggressive. That's very aggressive. Women are not trying to fight you. They're not trying to get their head slung into the actual bathroom stall by this man with this big crazy jaw and neck muscles. I mean, come on, man. Come on. Like, we got to stop. Listen, find you a bush outside or a single-use toilet or something like that. Don't be in the women's restroom acting the fool. To the women out there, if you saw this character in the bathroom, what's going to be your reaction? Would you want to confront him? Get out of here. Make me get out. It's ma'am. What are you going to do if you see that guy in your bathroom? I'm willing to bet most women are not going to confront him because they're not trying to get beat up by this guy. You know, average woman, 5'3", 5'4", or something like this. They're not trying to have this big 6'2", big Arnold, Lou Ferrigno, Ronnie Coleman looking dude, jacked up, steroids, to do something to him. Donnie Parton is hilarious. Hey, Scott called this guy Donnie Parton. So you're gonna run, walk out, you're gonna get a pipe, walk out, get far away, get out, leaving, getting out of there. Exactly. I'm not trying to approach this guy. I'm not trying to approach that guy because I'm not trying to have to really fight this dude And don't lose to the Transformer. That's embarrassing. All right, now, if you get offended at certain things, like if you are offended by quote unquote homophobia, whatever that means, it's not my fault. Blame the white man. But here's a question from Shani Rich. What would you want? A conservative son or a gay son?
Would you rather your son be a conservative or gay?
All right, he could be a conservative.
Why you say that?
I ain't playing no gay son. I'm gonna beat your ass.
What do you mean?
You ain't being gay. No. I told my son before I had him, you wasn't gonna be gay.
But what about people who say that that's like homophobic though, to say that?
But I had this nigga. I could be homophobic toward him. The rest of everybody, they can do what the fuck they want. But my son, there ain't no way you being gay. I'm gonna get that shit slapped out of your ass.
Would you rather?
So look, check it out. This answer right here, if you ask the average black person in the world, not just USA, but in the whole world, like Africa, why are you gay? If you ask us that, we're going to say something like that. It may not be as direct, I'll beat you up. It may not be like that, but it's not going to be favorable. So when they put us on the LGBT flag, the black and the brown, it's like, why are you doing that? Who asked you to do that? We, the community, did not ask you to do that, because a lot of us feel the same way. And a lot of y'all feel the same way too. Not all, but some. And if you're gay in the chat, hey man, don't be offended. It's okay. It is okay. Don't be offended. But for real, we don't like that type of lifestyle. So when they put us on a gay flag, I'm like, nah, you barking up the wrong tree with that one. That ain't it. All right. But let's keep going here. Now, this is somebody's son. I'm not quite sure what his sexuality is. It's not really my business. But he says his mental health has taken a hit ever since all of what's happening right now politically. Let's see what he has to say, shall we?
And you've done it, Republicans. In one fell swoop, you fucking pushed my mental health over the fucking line.
I'm sorry for the cussing.
Now, I fucking die. And you've done it, Republicans. In one fell swoop, you fucking pushed my mental health over the fucking line. Now, I fucking die.
You gonna die? Like, what are we doing? Are you gonna delete yourself? Hey, bro, if you can hear the sound of my voice, don't do it. It's okay, man. Don't do it. I don't know what happened. Maybe you saw something on the internet that kind of got you offended. But, bro, I promise, whatever it is, it's not that bad. Don't do it, man. It's all right. You're suffering from terminal TDS. I'm talking about terminal. Like, it's you at the end of your rope. But, bro, you have the power to change that. Don't do it. Don't do it to yourself. Somebody said, peace out. Bye-bye. Y'all are crazy. Y'all are hilarious. Y'all are funny. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Now, over in UK, they had a landmark decision that says that a woman is identified as an adult human female. Okay, that's a landmark decision, a landmark announcement. Never in all of my days did I think I'd be reporting on that. But here we are. But not everyone agrees. This chap right here does not agree with that decision.
Probably heard about this Supreme Court's ruling on the definition of the word woman. This will have some real serious implications. It will have some consequences. But I want to tell you one thing. They can make their laws. They can specify their definitions. They can take away my rights. But there's one thing that they'll never be able to take from me. And that's who I am. I'm a trans woman and I'm proud. And they'll never be able to take that from me. Probably.
Okie dokie. First of all, them eyes. I mean, it's all in the eyes, ain't it? I mean, I could not get my eyes to be that big if I tried. Like, you got to be, like, I can't really do it. So, again, mental problems. a lot of undiagnosed and untreated mental illness. But bro, call yourself whatever you want to call yourself. I'm not trying to say you can't call yourself whatever you want. You can identify as the Queen of England. Go ahead, knock yourself out. But at the end of the day, when we're talking about reality, when we're talking about laws, when we're talking about rules, regulations, they are what they are. And you, sir, are a man in official matters. Unofficial, on your own time, you can identify as Ren and Stimpy from your you can identify as Ren and Stimpy from your hat right here. Both of them. It's fine. But you're still a man at the end of the day. Now, the Prime Minister of UK, Keir Starmer, he has responded to what's happening with the whole, what a woman is thing. Let's see what he got to say. Hold on. Matter of fact, there's a caption. It says, Keir Starmer says a woman is an adult female, but there was something else. I think before he said that wasn't the case. Anyway, let's see what he has to say.
We saw protests this weekend in Bristol, as Paul mentioned, about the Supreme Court ruling. Do you believe a trans woman is a woman?
Look, I think the Supreme Court has answered that question.
So you don't believe a trans woman is a woman?
Look, a woman is an adult female, and the court has made that absolutely clear. I actually welcome the judgment because I think it gives real clarity. It allows those that have got to draw up guidance to be really clear about what that guidance should say. So I think it's important that we see the judgment for what it is. It's a welcome step forward. It's real clarity in an area where we did need clarity. I'm pleased it's come about. We need to move and make sure that we now ensure that all guidance is in the right place according to that judgment.
What are your words for the trans community who are worried about what this could mean for them?
Well, look, I think it is important that we have clarity about the law. That's what the Supreme Court is there for. So obviously that's an important and welcome step, and we go forward from there.
Now look, when the woman asks you, do you think a trans woman is a woman? Why can't you just say no? Why can't you just say no? Oh, what the Supreme Court said, ask ABL. ABL, do you think a trans woman is a woman? No. A trans woman is a man. Unless they are a biological woman, because y'all know they crazy like that. Sometimes you have biological women that might try to do something crazy. Okay, yeah, I was born a woman, XX, chromosomes, I got all my parts, I got my ovaries, all that kind of good stuff, but I'm a trans woman. You know, they do stuff like that. If you're born a man, you're a man. You're born a woman, you're a woman. That's it. That's all there is to it. I don't have to cite a Supreme Court ruling to say something that is so obvious when it comes to biology. That's pretty much what it is. So yeah, shout out to all you guys out there in UK. And also shout out to us here over in the US. This is another encampment, this time at Yale. They're mad about Israel, Gaza, all that kind of stuff. They're still mad about that, and it's still going on. Hey, you know what I say? To all these places having these crazy encampments, harassing people, Jewish students, no federal funding.
Silence 3! Stop the violence now! 1! We are the people 2! We won't be silent 3!
Now, I don't want to take anyone's free speech, but free speech becomes different when you want to barricade buildings, when you want to put your hands on people, stuff like that. Nah, have a little protest, have your little crash out, do whatever you want. But when you start to engage in violence, that's different. So that's what I think. But yeah, this is at Yale. And my question is, okay, you guys don't have things more important to do. You guys are not, working on your studies. Now, speaking about protesters, we got somebody out here in Midtown Manhattan at the Trump Tower. All right, let's watch this guy act a fool.
Hey guys, you got me. What do you got me? Leave? Yeah. Leave that? Why come in just wait for you? Don't touch him. Don't touch him. Do not touch him. I don't want to spray this. Go ahead and drop this. You dropped my hand. Get that. His hand.
So look, this guy, I don't know what this sign says. Like, what is that? Do y'all know what this is? He has a banner that says, it's a yellow banner. It says game over, and has a 4. I don't know what this is. It's like an hourglass or something. I don't know what this is. If anybody knows what that is, y'all let me know. But that's what the guy has on the banner that he unfolded. It's a pretty small banner. It's like maybe a 2x3 or something, or a 2x2, like a square, and then, or a 3x3. And then he has spray painted the presidential seal that says 45. He spray painted that, and he put green USA on top of that. Say it's a movie, a martini. I don't know. Maybe y'all know what it is, but I don't know. Maybe the guy is funded by somebody. Let's see if he talks and says anything else.
This is your country. This is your country. This is our country. Everybody's got back out. This is our planet. This is our country. This is our planet. You cannot ruin it without comment. They are ruining the planet.
All right, so he might be a climate person. I guess that's the thing. They're ruining the planet. So if it's about climate, then why are you going to Trump Tower spray painting stuff on the Trump seal? These people are so strange. But yeah, shout out to him. All right, and we got some more people. This is at a Tesla showroom in Manhattan. And they're spray painting Doge in the green letters and then crossing it out. Now, here's my question. How are you able to do all of this? Hold on. That's an obscene thing. How are you able to do all of this just out in the open in broad daylight and you're not being stopped by the police? You're right here in Manhattan and ain't nobody doing nothing to you. Like, how does that really work? And these are the same climate guys. You see his shirt, it says climate change, something about climate change. So climate change means you're going to protest Elon Musk talking about he's unelected. Okay. But Tesla is the same company that the climate people champion because they have electric vehicles. Make it make sense. These people are just doing anything, whatever. All right. I'm going to protest the climate by protesting a guy who has been a pioneer of electric vehicles, which is what we've been asking for years. As climate people, make it make sense. Yeah, the only way they're doing that out in the open like that is because it's allowed to happen. They're allowing it to happen. It's not really a big deal. It's middle of the daytime in Manhattan, and they're able to spray paint a whole mural on the Tesla showroom windows on the outside. Yeah, they are exactly Brickyard. They are 1,000% hypocritical. 1,000%. So whenever I see anybody that's, a climate bro, something like that, I'm like, man, y'all don't even know what's going on. Y'all are all over the place. Y'all not really focused on what needs to be focused on.
How does that?
All right, now we got some people that are out here acting the fool. All right, trying to fight all of that. And let's see what they're protesting about. I'm not quite sure they know what they protest. I'm not quite sure they know what the protest. I'm not quite sure they know what the protest is. Put it to you that way. But they're going to protest regardless.
How does the focus,
you don't want to
you
talk.
don't have to touch my microphone. You don't have to touch me. How does the focus of the protest on Elon Musk change to Chicago Police Department? No, I'm just wondering. No, I'm asking. I'm not in your face. Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm just wondering how the focus on Elon Musk turns to a focus on the Chicago PD, because that's pretty fascinating to me. Anyway, so the point is the law enforcement can deny access to public space, okay?
I've been protesting since the beginning.
I understand. But didn't you ask me to stop talking to you? I don't understand why you keep heckling me. Right, we're in the public. Remember, that's how you're organizing right now. Yeah, so it is kind of interesting how the public perceives the law enforcement during a protest, right? It's not this isn't even an anti-law enforcement protest. It's an anti-Tesla, anti-corporate America protest.
But look, though, see, the thing about it is they're going to protest anything that they don't like at the moment. They're going to protest. They're out there just for whatever the reason may be. They don't really know what it's about. They're there for Elon. You see, they got the whole swastika cars. Look, we don't want your swastika cars. Take a one-way trip to Mars. Hashtag Tesla takedown. This is not an organic sign at all. I'm looking at the card stock that's on. That's not even card stock. That's beyond that. I'm looking at the way this is printed. This is something that costs money. Okay? It's not an organic thing. They're just out there probably being paid to attack Elon. And you know what? The funny part is they're probably being paid by those who have a financial interest in seeing Tesla devalued. They probably, here's the play that could happen. What could be happening is that they're being paid by the very people who are going to short Tesla stock and make a bunch of money on the back end. So they're getting their little 15 an hour, 20 an hour, 25 an hour. Meanwhile, the guy who's paying them will make more money from their actions than they will ever see in their lifetimes. It's funny how that works, because I think Tesla is down like, 75%, something like this. So if that's going on, I wouldn't be surprised. Okay, now we got another person crashing out. Let me start from the top.
Men can't control their emotions and abuse women.
Men can't control their emotions?
Yes, and abuse women.
You seem like you can't control their emotions.
Excuse me, I'm angry. I'm angry and I'm loud. That's not emotional. That's called being persistent and passionate. And all the football coaches who yell at their little boys and say that's not emotional. Okay. That's a man.
I want to say I'm pro-life.
Your testosterone is what makes you illogical and emotional.
Disgusting.
Men can't control.
Okay, now look. I don't know if she knows it or not, but what she did right there is all emotion. I'm angry. Yes, anger is an emotion. All right. If you had more than 2 brain cells in your head, you would know that. Anger is an emotion. He's chilling. He's just calm, stoic, level-headed. She's emotional. So, yeah. If men cannot control their emotions, what do you call what you're doing? You're not controlling yourself at all. Look at his face right here. That face right there, that freeze frame says it all. So yeah, shout out to you guys who can control your emotions and don't get angry, frustrated, sad, mad, and all that good stuff. Always yelling. Yes, always yelling. Top of their lungs. Hey, if she's married to a man, man, I feel bad for bro. I really do. If she's married to a man, I can't even imagine what he going through. Now, speaking about not controlling their emotions, let's go to Congress. Let's go to Congress and see them defend illegal aliens, criminal aliens, rabble rousers from different countries that want to come here and spark civil unrest in our nation. Let's see them defend them. All right, first, let's start here. This person's name is, give me a second, her name. I had it right here. Haley something. Haley Stevens from Michigan. She's in the Senate race. Okay. Now, first things first. The pink glove, I don't know what's happening. Is this Michael Jackson impersonation? Everybody want to be Michael. That's like a very famous thing. We saw the whole Daniel Penny situation. He was a Michael impersonator. I saw a bunch of other Michael impersonation videos beyond that. So RIP to Michael, and shout out to Haley. Let's see what's on her mind, shall we?
Blues pass, you will see darkness, you will be pushed, and our society needs you to stand together at this time. Our country loves you. Blues pass.
Okay, she has 2 pink gloves. I don't know what's going on. Alrighty, so Michiganders, and that's a correct term, are you going to vote for Miss Haley Stevens in the Senate? Does she have your vote? Is this action right here enough to secure your vote? I hope not. Hey, if any of y'all vote for her in the Senate race, hey man, you deserve whatever you get. If you get every illegal alien from the entire world to come in there, that's your fault if you vote for this woman. All right. So yeah, shout out to Haley. Let's keep on going here. This is Ayanna Pressley talking about defending those who got their visas revoked because they're going on campus and starting stuff. Like that guy, Mahmoud Khalil, remember him from Colombia? Yeah, she wants to defend them. So let's hear from her. Looking like Suge Knight, but anyway.
I'm just here to conduct oversight, to see it for myself in real time exactly what the hell is going on here, and exactly why Rumeysa Ozturk and Mahmoud Khalil and others are here. And just know that this is an issue of consequence for everyone, because their constitutional rights were violated, due process was violated, and there are already some 300 people that we're aware of who have had their student visas revoked. I'm just here to conduct oversight, to see.
Hey, I love it. That's great. That's a good job. Hey, applause for Trump. Yeah, I like that. Hey, you know what, Miss Presley? That's what I voted for. I voted to get people like that up out of here. You want to come to a country as a guest and spark civil unrest? Do that in any nation on earth. If you do that, let's say, for example, in China, you might not make it home. You might not get deported, but you might not come home. You could put 2 and 2 together to get 4 on that one. So I think Trump is being gracious by just revoking their green card and sending them back home. I think that's gracious. Try that in China. Try that in Iran. Otto Warmbier got deleted in North Korea for stealing a propaganda poster from a hotel. Deleted. So I think we're being fair over here in the good old US of A. Now, here they are visiting them. They went to an ICE facility. I believe it was in Louisiana or somewhere. Hold on, let me just make sure I'm saying the right thing. ICE facility, Mahmoud Khalil, Louisiana. Yeah, and let's see if I can get the exact place. I'll tell you this is Louisiana. All right. Now the group that visited, Troy Carter of Louisiana, Benny Thompson, Mississippi, Jim McGovern and Ayanna Pressley of Massachusetts, and Edward J. Markey, Massachusetts. They all went down there to visit these detained individuals at a ICE facility. Okay. And here they are walking up out of the place. Now look, this has got to be one of the most embarrassing things I've ever seen in all my days on God's green earth. The most embarrassing, aside from Suge Knight and everybody else being there, it's the whole idea of let's go defend illegal aliens. Let's go defend those who are here on the green card who came to disrupt this country. Ain't no way. I don't care what color they are. I don't care where they're from. I don't care where you go. Any country should deport those who come as guests and act a fool. Any country should do that. And I don't care who it is. You could be black, white, Puerto Rican, and Kennedy Stripe. Don't go somewhere and disrupt things. Now, this is going to be Rep Ansari. And I'm not really sure. Her name is Yasemin Ansari. Let's see where she's from. Yasemin Ansari. She is from Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona. Well, she's from Seattle, Washington, but she's a rep out there in Arizona. Okay. And she's going to be up here talking about, what's the guy? the MS-13 gang member, Kilmar. Let's watch.
The government here in El Salvador turned down the request that came through the embassy. So the embassy made the request for us to be able to see Mr. Garcia, and that was rejected.
Okay. There's word here in the States that he's been moved to better accommodations in a jail. What do you know about that?
We were not able to get any answers. We're still pressing for answers, and that's part of what we are asking Secretary Marco Rubio. Where is he? That's what the family is asking. Again, with the health conditions that he has, they're worried that he's not getting the treatment that he needs. And that is why the situation is so urgent. The government...
Healthcare, what do you got? Diabetes? Big old butterball. What do you got? Diabetes? High blood pressure? What's going on? Now, he did get moved to a different spot in the prison. It's not in the, the real hardcore spot. He got a bed, and he has it's like a lower level type of spot, but he's still in prison. Like that's the key element here. He's still in prison. So she's over in El Salvador when she's a rep from Phoenix. Why are we in El Salvador? I don't understand. I don't really get it. Let's keep rocking and rolling. Now, this is Congresswoman Maxine Dexter from Oregon going all the way down to El Salvador to get this MS-13 gang member. Wife beater, gang member, human trafficker, all of that. Let's watch this.
Congresswoman Maxine Dexter here, coming to you from El Salvador. I flew here last night with 3 of my colleagues to demand that Kilmar Abrego Garcia be released. He is being held in violation of a Supreme Court order expressly telling the Trump administration to effectuate and facilitate his coming home.
It didn't say effectuate, it just said facilitate. That's a different thing. Effectuate means they have to actually go do proactive things to get him out, like a prison break, invading El Salvador. I don't know about y'all, but I'm not too keen on invading El Salvador for a gang member. I'm like, okay, you got a gang member in prison. Okay, what else is there to talk about? Leave him right there in prison. I've never seen people advocate for a verified gang member to get released from prison. This is purely politics. In no other instance would anybody have the audacity to get on TV, social media, anywhere and say, hey, yeah, that gang member you got in prison, let him out. Who would do that?
That is being ignored. This is not just a threat to all people in the United States who could be illegally abducted, detained, and transported internationally against their will, but it is a fact that our president does not recognize the branches of government and the balances of power.
It's so dumb to hear him talk about a law. Oh, he's breaking the law. He didn't want to follow a rule. What rule was followed when we had 20 million, at least, illegal aliens pour into our nation in just 4 years' time? What law was followed then? What law was followed when you had the illegal aliens put on planes and sit to wherever they wanted to go in the whole country? All right, you're here illegally. We're going to send you to Chicago. We're going to send you to New York. We're going to send you to Denver, Colorado. What law was followed then? When you gave illegal aliens the ability to drive a car with no license in Ohio by the thousands, what law was followed then? I'm having a hard time understanding. When you caught Kilmar Abrego Garcia in Tennessee driving a human trafficker's car with 8 people in it, 8 adults in it, and you detained them and you got a call from Biden talking about let him out, why would you let a gang member, wife beater, human trafficker out when you already got him? And why wouldn't he get deported? And why was there a do not deport order? Oh, because he might face retribution from gangs? That has nothing to do with me. Hey, man, whatever you did in your past, if you were thugging and drugging and carrying on, that's your cross to bear. It's not mine. So you got to get up out of here. But I digress.
This is what we all have been calling a constitutional crisis, yet it is more severe than anything we've seen. We cannot stay silent. We must stay loud. I am here because I refuse to wait for something to happen. We are here to release Kilmar Abrego Garcia.
Well, look, you know what? You can stay down there with him. Matter of fact, how about this? Let's do a swap. I'm only to do a swap. Now, hear me out. Here's my swap. We'll take Kilmar back in the USA, and after we get him back, we're going to deport him again. But to get him out, what we're going to do is we're going to send you, look, all the Democrats who went to El Salvador and to the ICE facility in Louisiana, let's send all of y'all to El Salvador and keep you down there, and we'll take Kilmar back and then bring him back. So you can come back for a while, hang out with his wife. Don't beat her though, Kilmar. I mean, keep your hands to yourself. Hang out with his wife and his baby and come back in a few weeks, and it could be a big family. You guys can get reunited. How about that? If that's cool, I'll sign off on it if I was the president. If you want to trade places with him, you and your colleagues, that'd be great. That'd be worth it. That would be worth it. So shout out to that lady. What's her name again? Maxine Dexter from Oregon. Shout out to all the people in Oregon in the chat. Oregonians, that's probably the best way to say it. How do you feel about your House rep going to El Salvador to try and get a gang member out of prison in El Salvador? All right. Here's another one. This guy is from Orlando, Florida, going to El Salvador. And we have Will Kane asking him, hey, you are a Florida congressman. Why are you in El Salvador?
Why, Congressman, are you in El Salvador? You are there for an El Salvadorian man who was a resident illegally of Maryland. You're a congressman from Florida. Why are you in El Salvador?
Well, we're here because a man who had protected status in Maryland, a Maryland man, union member, worker with a citizen wife and beautiful children, was taken out of his state and out of the United States back over here without due process. And for us, we're here for a couple of reasons. Number one is because every person in our country deserves due process. And we want to make sure that we draw the line here at Kilmar Garcia.
Why, Congressman?
All right, so there we go. That's a funny looking character right there. Like, what is his face anyway? So yeah, they're really trying to down that hill for what reason, I don't know. Now, this is Chris Van Hollen, the OG of the whole operation. All right. Now here he is on the Sunday shows trying to explain himself, and he almost slipped up right here. He almost slipped and said the wrong thing. Let's watch.
I think at some point, the president of El Salvador realized it was looking really bad to have this person who'd been absconded from America.
This what now? Hold on. Let's go back. Let's start from the top, because I thought I heard him say something or almost say the completely wrong thing. Let's start from the top, shall we?
I think at some point, the president of El Salvador realized it was looking really bad to have this person who'd been
American, bro. Don't do that. Don't do that, because people think this guy's an American when he's not an American. This guy is an El Salvador citizen. He is Salvadoran. He is not American. He is Salvadoran.
Absconded from America, from the streets of Maryland, in one of their prisons. I think
again, that's Chris Van Hollen. Remember the first date, gazing in his eyes? That's him. He was the guy that went down there first. All right, let's keep on going here. We got one more from Chris.
Who did?
And let's see what's going on.
Who did pay for this trip?
This was an officially cleared, congressional trip, cleared
So
on a
taxpayer
bipartisan
dollars.
basis. Yes, like every other trip.
Who did pay for this trip?
Now, when she asked the question, who did pay for the trip? The answer, taxpayers. You're trying to get around it. That's typical politician stuff. That's what we hate. We don't like that, because you're trying to hide the truth. And then we got to double down and ask you again and all that kind of stuff. We don't like that. We don't like non-answers.
Who did pay for this trip?
This was an officially cleared, congressional trip.
Just say taxpayers. Just say that.
So
On a
taxpayer
bipartisan
dollars.
basis. Yes, like every other trip.
Who did?
So to my Maryland citizens, my Marylanders, how do you feel about your tax monies? And really, it's all of our tax monies, because you're in the federal government, right? How do we feel about our tax monies going toward this man, an elected official who works for us, How do we feel about our taxpayer monies going to fund his trip to get a gang member, wife beater, human trafficker from prison in El Salvador who is not even an American at all? How you guys feel about that? I know how I feel about it. If I was in Maryland, he would never, ever get my vote. I mean, it wouldn't have been a vote for him anyway. But if I was a Democrat for some reason, like if I just bumped my head and lost my mind and I voted for this guy, I would not do it ever again because of that. Yeah, exactly, Globetrotter. Hey, that's 15 thumbs down for me. Tomato. That's right, Sheree. Tomatoes all day long. Throw them at him. Taxpayer-funded trip to El Salvador to get a gang member back. You could do better than that. Now, we got Pocahontas here. And she's being asked about Joe Biden's decline. And if she knew or if she saw it. Let's talk about this. Let's watch this.
Do you regret saying that President Biden had a mental acuity? He had a sharpness to him. You said that up until July of last year.
I said what I believe to be true.
And you think he was as sharp as you?
Pocahontas. Wow. Listen, this is what we're talking about. The lies. We don't like them. Let's go back a little bit.
I said what I believe to be true.
And you think he was as sharp as you?
I said I had not seen decline.
Yeah, exactly. Look at her face. Exactly. Come on, man. Everybody saw that. Everybody saw the decline. Everyone, the whole world saw it. The whole world. There was it was an international embarrassment of just how far he had fallen cognitively.
And I hadn't at that point.
You did not see any decline from 2024 Joe Biden to 2021 Joe Biden?
Not when I said that. You know, the thing is, he was sharp. He was on his feet. I saw him. Live event. I had meetings with him a couple of times.
Senator, on his feet is not praise. He can speak in sentences is not praise.
All right. Fair enough. Look.
Just say you were lying because he is a Democrat and you were protecting the Democrat. I mean, for real, these are smart people. People in Congress, they're smart people. But the problem is they use their intelligence for bad things. That's the problem. You knew full well before he even ran in 2020 that he had declined. Because if I'm a normie just in the streets seeing it, you being in DC for probably as long as Joe Biden's 50 years and you don't see how he was at one point and how he is right now, we see it. If you see this man every day for 40 years, you see a decline. You are a liar by saying you didn't see it.
The question is, what are we going to do now?
Okay.
Now let's move on. You don't got to keep beating the dead horse. Let's move on. Hey, I lied about it. Okay, but now what are we going to do? What you need to do, first of all, is just admit to your lie and be truthful. Because the American people, listen, we don't want to hear lies anymore, especially not obvious stuff. If there's a rain cloud in the sky and you say it's not in the sky, it's like, I can see it right there. What you mean it's not right there? If you say that Joe Biden he's strong and he's not declined and he's on his feet and he sounds good, meanwhile, he's a stuttering, stumbling, bumbling mess, forgetting things, obvious dementia, obvious old timers. If we could see that and you saying that it's not happening, we're like, come on, you lose your credibility like that and you can't regain it. So yeah, shout out to Pocahontas. How you guys feel about Pocahontas? Oh, speaking about Pocahontas, Bernie, AOC. Now, it's weird how people are traveling private because they want to fight climate change. I think a private flight uses quite a bit of fuel. And if you flew commercial, it might be a tad bit more economic. It must be nice to be a congresswoman making, what's that, $174,000 a year and have private jet accommodations. Do you know how much these things cost? Look, they're going to start at $5,000 an hour, starting between 5 and 20 grand an hour to start off rip. So my question is, how far are you going? You could get into 100,000 up to close to $1 million easy for one trip. So, hey, shout out to AOC. Shout out to AOC. Must be nice. Flying very expensive, flying in a very non-energy efficient way. But we got to fight climate change, right? We got to fight the millionaires and the billionaires and whatnot. Okay, on a private jet, right? All right, that's fine. Yeah, 15,000 an hour. That's right, Jay Baloo. 15 bands an hour. 174,000 a year, but you can afford a flight that costs $15,000 an hour. Okay, all righty, sure. Hypocrisy, and that's it exactly, Lynn. The hypocrisy off the charts. Now, this woman is talking about Elon not being a very smart guy. Now, listen, Jasmine, I'm not going to say you're an idiot, but I'm willing to bet all of the pocket change I got on me right now, all my chapsticks, all the coconut water, all of what Tony Busby would sue me for in court, I'm willing to bet all of that to say that Elon is smarter than you are. But let's watch.
The level of incompetence is almost like incomprehensible. It is so bad. And when you bring up the idiot known as Elon Musk,
really? Elon Musk is an idiot? Now listen, you might not like Elon Musk. You may be offended by things he says, offended by his political views, but to call him an idiot is just crazy. Elon Musk is one of the smartest men in the world, period. I mean, listen, you got Tesla, SpaceX, the Boring Company, you got a rover on Mars. Elon's companies rescue Americans stranded on the ISS. I mean, and then he went to Doge and did that. He became a government employee for a while, serving the people for like no money. How are you going to call Elon Musk an idiot?
He is not only like very sinister and has no idea what he's doing, and people are like, oh no, he absolutely knows because he's the richest man in the world. Like, yes, he knows how to hire smart people, but don't conflate that and believe that he is the genius because he ain't. And so level of income.
Yeah, nah, I think Elon's a pretty smart guy because anyone can pay anyone, but you're not going to be able to do the things that he does. His companies, nobody else can do what he does. I mean, like, Elon is a very smart guy, and that's not really up for debate. Love him or hate him, you don't have to like him. You could hate him, and that's fine, but you can't say he's an idiot. Like I said, members of Congress, a lot of them are pretty smart. They got pretty high IQ, but they do the wrong thing. So I'm not going to necessarily call them idiots or mouth breathers, but I'm going to say that they're evil people. They're bad people. It's a difference between being an idiot and a bad person. But anyway, here we got some more. Talking about the Transformers. Jasmine, at least. Talk about the Transformers. Let's watch.
According to them, the trans kids that want to play the sports, Lord have mercy, that is the biggest issue that we had. Since when? Since when? Find the little trans child that is ruining your life. Like, I mean, I'm just like,
Okay, let's talk about Jasmine Crockett's accents. What she'll do is black it up in the black space, and then go to more the Valley Girl. Oh my God, the Starbucks Katie type of accent on like a Bill Maher or something like that. It's called code switching. But as far as the Transformers and sports, the problem is it's not about your little trans child. It's about, okay, you're in high school. Again, I was my size right now at 14 years old, maybe about 2 inches. I was 6 foot tall and 240 pounds at 14. I appeared to be an adult when I was 12. When I was 12 years old, I looked like an adult. Me and my mama go places when I'm 12 years old, and they thought I was her husband because of how big I was. I'm at 12, I'm like 5'8", 5'9" at 12. I was bigger than a lot of adult men now at 12. So imagine if a guy my size, a boy my size, is 17 years old, trying to run track on the girls' team. I got my twig and berries, I got all my stuff in the girls' locker room. How are the girls going to feel? How are the parents going to feel? It's not right. And we've seen instances of boys assaulting girls in school because of that situation. And on top of that, the boys, it doesn't matter how many of them there are. It could be 1%. They're going to dominate. So a scholarship opportunity for a young woman taken away. Scholarship, comfort, peace, the ability to compete, all of that is stripped from the young girls. It's not right. So that's why there's a problem with the Transformers in sports, Jasmine Crockett. And it gets worse when you go to the pro level, to the adult level, because you're going to have fully grown men. Let's say, for example, in boxing, full grown men beating the brakes off of women. It's not okay. It is not okay. You can fix her. You can fix her right out of the reason. Hey, man, if you can fix her, go ahead, because somebody got to do it. All righty. Now, Ketanji Brown Jackson, the Supreme Court Justice, and I don't say this lightly, but this is what Joe Biden did. A literal DEI hire. He said, I'm going to pick a black woman to be the vice president and then a Supreme Court justice. It shouldn't have been about color or gender. It should be about the best person, period. If that person was black, so be it. If they're white, so be it. If they're male, female, whoever the best person is, pick them. Don't say it's going to be a black woman, because now, even if she is qualified, you just stomped on all of that and reduced her to a skin color and a gender. And that's not okay. But you did it, so it is what it is. Now, she says here, hey, if your school's curriculum is, not working for you, it's against religious beliefs, you got a choice. Just pay for a private school. It's okay.
The parent can choose to put their kid elsewhere. You don't have to send your kid to public school. I'm struggling to see how it burdens a parent's religious exercise if the school teaches something that the parent disagrees with. You have a choice. You can homeschool them.
Okay, so look, all parents can just homeschool. So no parents work. No two parents in the household work. You have no single parents out there raising kids by themselves. You have no widows out there raising kids by themselves. You have nobody, no grandparents raising kids because the parents are gone. The parents got locked up, whatever the case may be. And everybody has money to do private school. Everybody has endless money to send kids to private school. But and here's something else. Guess what? Public school, that's your taxpayer money. So I'm a taxpayer. The school violates my religious freedom. I just got to take that. It's my money. It's my taxpayer money. So how about this, Ketanji Brown Jackson? If the public school violates my rights, then give me my tax money back. How about that? Give me the tax money back. Matter of fact, how about this? If the school gets paid a certain amount of money per pupil, give me what they pay to give me that dollar amount. In Baltimore, for example, they have some of the highest monies given per pupil. It's like $15,000 per pupil. So in that case, Give me the $15,000 a year. And then I'll take that and put it toward private school or something like that. Or a charter or something like this. Give me that money and then I'll do something with it. But you can't make money off of my child and take my money and then force me to have my religious views violated. That's not okay. So what do y'all think? Do you think she has a good response here? Hey, man, you don't like it? Go somewhere else. Pay for it out of your own pocket. We're going to keep getting money from the federales and from your taxpayer money, but we're not going to do anything for you. Go over there and pay for that. How you feel about it? If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Alrighty. I got some more here. Oh, I wanted to show this. This right here was fantastic from
he was living
my video earlier when they were asking Maryland residents about Kilmar Abrego Garcia. They're probably in Baltimore. Shout out to the Baltimore people, the Baltimoreans. That crazy accent. Dear too. Let's hear from them and see what their viewpoint is on Kilmar Abrego Garcia.
He was living in Maryland, designated MS-13 terrorist, and Donald Trump deported him. How does that make you feel?
I feel safer.
He gotta go. He gotta go.
Need to go. I mean, that's it.
But he was a father.
But he's still a terrorist.
Okay. I mean, but there's children living without fathers now.
He should have picked and choose, so he picked to be a terrorist instead of worrying about his children.
The Democrats, they want him back. They say he was wrongfully deported. He has a wife and a kid who's a citizen. They're calling this a national emergency. Is this a national emergency?
I wouldn't call it a national emergency. We got more things going on. We have more things, more fish to fry.
I just found out about it, so I don't think so. What kind of national emergency? For what? What is the emergency for?
Ain't no national emergency, no.
He was accused of hitting his wife twice and was a suspected human smuggler. Was he wrongfully deported?
No. He need to go.
If he's a smuggler, yeah, he need to be deported.
It's better to be safe than sorry.
Your senator here, Chris Van Hollen, he flew to El Salvador where this guy was deported. He met with them, had lunch with them, had margaritas on the table. What's up with your senator?
I have no idea, but I do believe that was a waste of taxpayer dollars.
Margaritas.
Hey, that was our margaritas.
You agreeing with somebody whipping their wife, terrorizing where you live, then you don't need to live here either.
Senator Van Hollen, you need to come see me, Mr. Coley, because you doing like that. You need to take care of home before you go in other states.
He went to El Salvador.
Oh, that's another country, excuse me.
What has Senator Chris Van Hollen ever done for you?
Nothing.
Nothing. For me? Nothing.
Nothing that I know of.
He ain't do me. I can admit that.
I've never even heard of this person.
Do you want Kilmar Abrego Garcia, this quote-unquote Maryland dad, living back in Maryland?
No. No.
No. No.
Not if he's doing trafficking, no. Why the I want somebody like that back? No.
What is your message to the Democrats who really want him back in your community?
Why would you want that in my community? Bring it to your community and see how long you like it up there.
Leave them, or y'all go over there with them.
You're focused on the wrong thing.
If they illegal come.
So yeah, shout out to them. That's right on point. Yeah, why would anybody want that in their community? You got the MS-13, beating wives, human trafficking. That man ain't got time for that, man. Get up out of here. Go over there. And what my man said right here. Hold on. What he said? What he said about, hey, send them to your community. Exactly. They don't want them up there. They want them in your community. They want them next to you. Specifically, they want them next to us. Guys look like me and you. They want them next to us. Now, when it comes to your Martha's Vineyard, stuff like that, oh no. Remember that? When I think that was DeSantis that sent some illegal aliens to the Martha's Vineyard, within 24 to 48 hours, they were deported. And not only were they deported to a military base. A military base. It's like, wow, it must be pretty serious. Come one, come all, you're all welcome, but don't come to my neck of the woods. Don't come here. Don't come to these empty vacation homes in Martha's Vineyard. Don't do that. Y'all got to go over there. But for the regular people, the normies, the peasants, as they may try to call us, I mean, they can stay in your neighborhood. That'd be fine. So the drug smuggling, the guns, the violence, the wife beating, you guys can experience all that good stuff. And don't thank us right away. It's okay. We know that you really appreciate this guy in your neck of the woods. But yeah, shout out to them. And if you like what you're hearing, you know what to do. Please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All right, now look, you may have seen this story about student loan payments being garnished from wages. They're reporting that like it's a new thing. It's not a new thing. It's always been the fact that your loans, if you have student loan debt or child support debt, they can garnish your wages, take cash out of bank account. They could do that with taxes. They could do it with student loan debt. They could do it with child support. They could do it with all of that. So it's not anything new, but there was a pause on the wage garnishment. Now the pause is over. If you owe student loan debt and you've not been able to figure out a way to pay it or get a plan or something like that, come the summertime, they're going to start garnishing again. But they've always done that. Now here is Ro Khanna talking about this issue and what he wants to do about it. And Ro Khanna is a Democrat, if you didn't know. Let's watch. All right.
News. If you have student loans, Donald Trump announced today that you're going to have to start paying them back in May. For 5 years, there's been a forbearance on student loans.
5 years? Listen, if there's been a 5-year student loan forbearance and you still not able to pay anything, then I don't know what kind of student loans you got. I don't know what's going on.
No one has had to pay these loans back to the government if they can't afford it. Donald Trump is changing that. You're going to now have to pay $500,000 a month if you have these student loans, even if you had a forbearance. And if you don't pay them, they are actually going to come after your paychecks to garnish your wages, and they can destroy your credit. Please stand up. Let's make sure that we don't allow Trump to go after those who had student loans. I took out over $100,000 in student loans. I knew how hard it was to pay it back and had to take forbearances. I'm going to fight to make sure that people are not going bankrupt because of Trump's policy.
Bro, why would I feel sorry for you having to pay back student loan debt? You're Ro Khanna. You're in Congress. You make enough money to pay your student loans. You make $174,000 base pay, and you probably make a lot more money than that on the slide, little side deals and insider trading y'all do. You're probably a multimillionaire. Why would I feel sorry for you paying back student loan debt? You can afford it. And check it out. I took out a loan when I was young that I knew I could pay back. My loan was only like $7,000. I only did 1 year where I had to pay student loans. I did 2 years where I paid out of my pocket or I had Pell Grants. My first year of college at a community college, I paid for out of my own pocket. At age 17, I paid my first year plus books, straight cash. How did I do that? I worked in the summertime and I went to a community college. I saved all my money and paid my first year in cash by myself, no help. And I was paying rent at home at 17 years old. So check it out. I don't feel bad for you if you have student loan debt that is unpayable, because my question is, when you took the debt out, what was your thought process? What was your thought process? And I was telling friends of mine back then, like, yo, where you going to college? How much are you going to pay? And what are you going to do when you get out of college? What's your career path going to be? I knew guys that went out of state and had degrees in, like, they were doing general studies. I'm like, bro, why would you do that? Living on campus, getting the refund checks, wasting money. I'm like, why? Because once you graduate, once you finish with college, that debt going to be there. And now you got to pay it. So yeah, a lot of people don't have student loan debt. A lot of us did other things. And we resent the fact that we are expected to pay for those who took out student loans and can't pay them. I didn't take it out. If you took it out, that's on you. It's like this. If you get a credit card and run up a debt on that, why would I pay your credit card debt off? You took that. You bought those things. You were on Amazon shopping. You were on Fashion Nova shopping. You were on the TikTok shop shopping. You went and bought a car and a house and the fancy clothes, the Gucci, Louis Vuitton. You got that C8 Corvette. That's your debt. It's your responsibility. It's not mine. So I don't feel bad. I sure don't. And you know what? Here's what I would say. Here's one thing I'm going to say to those who have student loan debt. I'm going to defend you a little bit. I don't think that federales should be involved with student loans because they give out loans that shouldn't be given out. Some of y'all should not have these loans to begin with. It's just like the whole predatory lending thing. There's rules at banks for a reason. They're not going to lend to you if you have bad credit, if you have no history of paying back certain loans. How are you going to be able to buy a house that costs $400,000, $800,000, $1.5 million with a bad history, no history, and no money? Same thing, student loans. You get in a loan that's worth 100 grand, 150, 200 grand at age 16, 17 with no credit history, no job, and no definitive way to pay it back. It makes no sense. I wouldn't get those loans out. Or I'll put the parents on the hook. Now, if the parents are on the hook specifically and not the kids, it'd be a little bit different. The parents are like, whoa, wait a minute now. Wait a minute. What are we doing? We're not going to spend 100 grand on general studies. We're not going to spend 100 grand on underwater basket weaving. We got to make sure we're doing the right thing with this money. So if I was to give any kind of consolation to those who have student loan debt, what should happen is the government should get out of the process because that is what's causing the problem. A lot of you guys should not have gotten the loan to begin with. You should have gone somewhere where it made more sense financially to go a more affordable place rather than trying to be partying, living on campus. Go to an affordable place, work during the same time, and be able to take care of it that way. That's what I would do if I had the power to be able to do it. But what do y'all think? Do you think that this is a bad thing that we got to pay back student loans? Or is it a thing that we all must do? If I take out any kind of debt, if I take out a personal loan, if I got credit cards, I got taxes, I got to pay it. It is what it is. Sending them checks every quarter for 5 figures, I got to do it. I know guys that's paying 6 figures every quarter. They got to do it. They're not saying, oh, nah, you got to do it. It is what it is. Hold on. Relentless says Klarna, Afterpay, Affirm, Sezzle. Americans love debt. Absolutely. I done seen people finance Uber Eats. It's like, bro, you're financing Uber Eats. You just not understanding how to spend money at all. Go to the grocery store. Anyway, I'm getting triggered. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Lynn says, I was an underwriter for a mortgage company, and if someone asked me if they had to pay back their loan, I would have laughed them out of the office. Exactly. You got to pay that. And when I got my loan, my payment was like $70 a month for 10 years. I could have paid it before then, but I wanted to have a long history of making one payment. And regardless of what was happening, I could have been broke, down bad, no money. I told y'all before, at one point when I was like 28, 29, I had $20 in my pocket, period. And that was from my rent. I had no car at the time. I had to walk from my house to the bank at night with $20, put it in my account because I already wrote the check from my rent. And if I did not put the money in there, it would have bounced. So I've been there, but I still always pay my student loan payment. So those talking about, oh, we need 5 more years, let's cancel the debt. I'm not really trying to hear it. And then for those who were thinking that they were going to cancel it when Biden got elected, they're not going to cancel student loan debt or child support or taxes because those are government debts. Those are state debts. They can extract it from you in ways that private lenders cannot. A credit card company cannot garnish your wages. All they can do is put you in collections and hurt your credit, but they cannot garnish wages, take tax returns, go in your bank account. They can't do that. But The government, if you got a debt you owe them, they could do whatever they want. They get the money back. They could do whatever they want to get that cash back. Put a lien on your house, take your tax return, garnish your wages, all of that. So be careful. If you take out a state debt, you're going to pay it. You're going to pay it one way or the other. All right. But yeah, shout out to Rokana. Yeah, let's not do that. Now, shout out to Nancy Mace. Hey, Nancy Mace. I like Nancy Mace. Nancy Mace is a fine lady. She really is. Now, somebody approached her in the store acting the fool. Now, the tape that she got was kind of after he was kind of acting up. And of course, when the camera came out, he wanted to play all cool like he didn't do anything. But let's watch some of this. All right, let's watch this here.
I do them every year.
Every year.
You want to keep going?
Do you
want to keep going and keep harassing me? You could have gone to a dozen town halls last year.
I asked if you're doing any more this year. It was one simple question.
Yeah.
Are you doing a town
I've
hall
already
this year?
done one. I'll do plenty
Are you doing
more.
any more this year? It was a simple question.
You're always invited.
Okay, sweet. We'll look
And
out
by
for
the
an
way,
actual invitation
I
for the next
voted for gay marriage twice.
What does that have to do
so
with me?
I'm just saying.
Bro, what you mean what's it got to do with you? You can see that. You see, you're clearly gay. So come on. This dude, now, she recorded this video after he was acting the fool and harassing her. Now he's trying to play like, oh, I'm just asking the question. I didn't do anything wrong. Typical gaslighting.
It has everything to do with you.
Do you think everything about me has to do with gay marriage?
I do,
That's
absolutely.
your first stance when you
Yep.
speak with me?
Absolutely.
There's no other humane
If you want to get in my
conversation you
face
can
about
have
town
me?
halls, you should have shown
There's
up to
no
one
other
last
humane
year.
thing you can talk about me just saying, oh, I support gay marriage.
Yeah,
That's
because
the
you're
only thing
getting
you
in
have
my
to
face
say.
about a town hall. You
All I
could have
was
gone
asking
last
one simple
year.
question from right
Would you
over
like
here
me?
is if you have any plans to have more town halls this year.
I have town
That was
halls
one
every year.
question.
I have over a dozen
Okay.
every year.
Great. That was my entire question. You didn't have to go
Yeah,
into the spiel about
you could
everything
have. You could have come to any of them last year.
Okay. And I'm
I had
asking
over
about
a
this year, not
dozen.
20.
Now look, man. See, y'all got to stop harassing people. Don't harass people trying to be all extra, trying to be weird. Because look, in real life, don't get slept out here. Don't get slept. You get in my face and you kind of like in my personal. I'm gonna give you a warning. Let's back up now. Hey now, let's not. I don't want no problems. But if you run up on me,
2024.
Where were you the year
I don't care if you gay, straight, male, female.
before that, or the year before that?
It was a simple
Oh,
question. I
because you
asked
know
if
what?
you have
Because you
any more that
people
you're
on the
going to
left
this year
are
or not.
crazy.
So I'm
You're
on the left.
absolutely fucking crazy.
I'm absolutely fucking
You are,
crazy.
and get out of my face.
You're insane.
Goodbye.
You're insane.
Fuck you.
You're gonna fuck me. You're
Yep,
gonna be voted
bye.
out so fast this year. I
I'm
can't
not.
wait for you to fucking
I'm not.
go
I
into
won
the
by
dirt.
so much.
You're a disgrace to this state. That's what you are. You're a disgrace. I asked you a simple question, and you just to go on this tirade and tell me "fuck you."
Yeah.
Now, see, now you're the victim. There's like, she's not going to record you if you weren't the one that started it. See how that go? Like, I don't like people to like do stuff like that. Throw something to hide your hand. You want to get in somebody's face, harass them, be spitting on them and stuff like that. And then when the camera come out or when the man come in, oh, nah, I won't do. Nah, I don't like that, man. Like, mind your business. Don't harass nobody. Don't do stuff like that. Don't do stuff like that. What's he got? A big ball of the douche? That's funny. He probably does. And why are you in Ulta anyway? Talking about some, when she said gay marriage, what's it got to do with me? It's like, bro, you're in the Ulta makeup store wearing Daisy Dukes. Let's be serious. Anyway, now we have more from Nancy Mace. I think I got one more here. Oh, we got a transformer confronting Nancy Mace.
Does your husband call you babe?
I'm not married.
Okay, so even better.
And I don't care.
Okay, so I would like for you to apologize because that is derogatory. And second of all,
Is tranny derogatory to you?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Of course
So,
the fucking is.
Tranny. Yeah, tranny. If that's derogatory, then
You are representing her. I'm sorry.
good.
so does your husband call you babe?
I'm not married.
Okay, so even better.
And I don't care.
Okay, so I would like for you to apologize because that is derogatory. And second of all,
Is tranny derogatory to you?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Of course
So,
the fucking is.
tranny.
So, did you hear the voice change? These people are so weird, man. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on with these people. I don't know what's happening with the Transformer revolution. I don't really get it. And you know, the funny part is that the girl voice is much softer than normal, and the dude voice is much higher than normal. Figure out who you are for real, bro. Figure out your actual identity. You're having an identity crisis and you're like 25 years old. Get your mind right. And if you get your mind right, maybe you're not going to be harassing people like Nancy Mace, stealing ferns from the actual stage for what? What you going to do? You going to throw it at her? See, right there, once that happens, I'm in the fight stance, because you're going to throw that at me, man, you're going to get Timberland straight to the noggin. Don't put the plant down, sir. Put the potted fern down on the stage and walk away with your sombrero and beads and whatnot. Put the potted plant down. Alrighty. Yeah, people are weird. People are so weird. I don't know, man. Like, I don't know what's happening. But yeah, shout out to him and his dude voice. All right, I think I got one more here. Hold on. I think I got two more I want to show. Yeah, I think I got two more I want to show. I want to show Elon talking about the birth rate. And also this right here. This is an older clip, but I want to show it because this woman on the left in the bright yellow, she became the mayor of Oakland recently. And this is her from her campaign. It might have been a few months back, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure when this video was, but it's not recent. But this is the same lady. Now, her idea is a $50 minimum wage. Is it going to work? Let's hear what she has to say about it.
You're calling for a $50 an hour federal minimum wage. That's 7 times the current national minimum wage of $7.25 an hour. Can you explain how that would be economically sustainable for small businesses? You have 60 seconds.
First, let me say I owned and ran a small business for 11 years. I created hundreds of jobs. Benefits, retirement benefits, also health care benefits. I know what worker productivity means, and that means that you have to make sure that your employees are taken care of and have a living wage. In the Bay Area, I believe it was the United Way, came out with a report that very recently, $127,000 for a family of 4 is just barely enough to get by. Another survey very recently, $104,000 for a family of 1, barely enough to get by. Low income because of the affordability crisis. And so just do the math. Just do the math. Of course, we have national minimum wages that we need to raise to a living wage. You're talking about $20, $25, fine. But I have got to be focused on what California needs and what the affordability factor is when we calculate this wage.
Ms. Lee, thank you. Mr.
Okay, first of all, RIP to the headphone users. That Mike Tyson Holyfield bell in my ear was crazy. But is that going to solve the problem? $50? Okay, the minimum wage argument is so dumb and it's so old because, first of all, the minimum wage right now federally is $7.25, but different states have different minimum wages. Also, most states pay well above minimum wage for minimum wage work. For example, in Tennessee, I think it's $7.25, which is the national minimum wage. Yet McDonald's is paying like $13, $14 an hour. Also, the migrants, that's a thing we can't really ignore. They'll say, let's have a very high minimum wage. But they're not talking about how the migrants come over here for the purpose of working below that or very low wages. If minimum wage $50 an hour, will migrants get paid that on the job site, construction or something like that? No, they're not. They're not going to get, they're going to get paid $10 an hour at best to do framing, rain, sleet, hail, snow. $10 an hour. Playing their music, $10 an hour. Working in the hotel, they're going to get paid a low amount of money to do these jobs. That's the whole point. They're not getting that high dollar amount. And ultimately, you're going to have places that can't afford to pay that, and they're just going to shut down. they're going to shut down. And we've seen it before in California where they raise prices, where they raise the wages up to a certain point, and people have jobs, they're getting paid their money, they're cool, they're good. And because the wage gets raised, the company got to shut down and everybody gets fired. So how did you help anybody? You didn't help anybody. It's a dumb thing to do. And she said she's a small business owner, ran it for a long time. Well, were you a solopreneur? Did you have employees? Do you understand payroll? It just makes no sense. It's economically retarded. And she's the mayor. God help him. God help him. And also, here's something else. She's on a box right here. That's funny. You know, everybody's at the podium and she has a box, which is weird because you got two guys. They're not very tall. You got pencil neck Schiff right here. And a lady's right next to Schiff. She has no box. And she appears to be pretty short herself, but she has a box. Oakland, hey, man, good luck. Good luck, Oakland. Now, Elon. Let's go to Elon talking about the birth rate being very low. And as you guys know, I did my video. The birth rate for replacement is 2.1, which means for every one woman, she needs to have, on average, 2.1 children to achieve replacement, which means that woman and the man replace themselves when they pass away. So let's say, for example, you got a husband and wife. They have 2 kids. When the husband and wife pass away, once they get to be older, the kids are still going to be there. So they replace themselves. If that action takes place throughout the nation at that same rate, you have population stability. If it doesn't happen and we have less than that, ours right now is 1.66 in the country, 1.66. So we're going to have, if that continues, we'll have population decline if we don't bring in migrants. Now, South Korea has a birth rate of 0.78, and you need 2.1. So I'm no mathematician, but that's going to be about between two-thirds and half population. Between 2/3 and 1/2 of population right now will cease to exist. So let's say right now in South Korea, what's population? Population is 51 million. If this keeps up, that will go down to 20 million in a generation if you don't bring in migrants. So let's hear from Elon about this.
Well, there's a lot of things that I suppose that I worry about, but and some of these things will seem esoteric to people. The birth rate is very low in almost every country, and it's something, unless that changes, civilization will disappear. America had the lowest birth rate, I believe, ever. That was last year. Places like Korea, the birth rate is 1/3 replacement rate. So that means in 3 generations, Korea will be 3 or 4% of its current size. And nothing seems to be turning that around. Humanity is dying. And people, it's just not something we evolved to react to. And I worry generally about the strength of America. America is the central column that holds up all of Western civilization. So if you've got the temple of Western civilization, America is the central column. If that column fails, it's all over. You can't run off to New Zealand or some other place. It's over. So either we strengthen that column and make sure America is strong and will be strong for a long time, or that roof's coming down.
So yeah, shout out Elon Musk. He's right on point about that. He is right on point about that. Absolutely. I'm sorry for all the windows changing, but I'm over here doing stuff. But yeah, and what's going to happen? What are we going to do about that? It's a lot of societal problems. You got to do with marriage. You got to do with how it's very costly to have children in the West. you got to deal with these things. They're talking about the $5,000 baby bonus potentially from Donald Trump. That might be a thing. Excuse me. That might be a thing, but that's not really enough, in my humble opinion. It's not enough. And I think if you're giving out that kind of money, what may happen is you're going to incentivize the lowest of us to have children. People that like to smoke crack for a living, perpetual baby mamas, they're going to just try to get that money from having these kids. And the kids are going to be raised in the worst kind of conditions, deplorable. That $5 would be gone instantly. That $5 might go to the drug man in the weekend. And then now what we have yet another career criminal in the making. An uneducated person can't put two words together, will be dead by the time they get to be 15. Like the person, it'd be so crazy that the kid born in the bad environment for the money will be dead by the time they turn 15 anyway. They'll be dead or locked up by the time they turn 15. If they're lucky, they get locked up. If they're unlucky, they die. Both of those are going to be pretty much predictable outcomes. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Jose says, cause, selfish culture. Let me see. B. Gatlin says, face the music. God is about finished with this earth age. Births are winding down. Fentanyl babies. I'm in the category. But see, look, and it's so weird because I get criticized for not having kids, but it's like, I could have been had kids. I could have been Nick Cannon when I was 18. And I'm not even trying to flex. I'm just saying I was responsible. I was the good guy. I was not out here impregnating every girl I came across. Trying to be the good person. I could have been right now, if I wanted to be Elon, it would be no problem. And I don't have Elon money either. So it's not even about that. But I try to be responsible. So that's something else though. It's like, you want to be responsible. You want to be the good guy. You want to do all these different things. But if you're doing that, then how are we going to have children that are brought forward into the world? People say get married, 50% divorce rate. And then when divorce happens, it gets rough. I done seen guys lose their whole shirt, become homeless. I do want kids, and I'm still young enough to have children. I'm 40 years old, and I'm not hunched over. I got a lot of energy. You know, I got nieces and nephews and whatnot. I've always been kind of a dad figure to anybody that I come across. A dad or a big brother or uncle, always been like that to anybody, even some adults. I got guys that I know, friends of mine, they say, hey, I'm younger than them, but they look up to me. People that's older than me see me as the big brother because I've always been that kind of way to people since I've been a little kid. But I always was responsible. I never got in trouble, never got locked up, never had all these kids outside the wedlock. I could have done all that. All of that in high school, could have started doing that. But let's not do that, ABL. Let's be responsible, ABL. Let's be a good guy, ABL. So it is what it is. All right. But I think I will have kids in the next probably about 2 or 3 years. Now, if I get kids and I'm not married, I don't want to hear nothing from nobody. I don't want to hear nothing. Just know that I'll be the best dad ever. But I like to be married before I have kids because that's still like in my mind. That's still right there. All right. AKM says Grant Cardone didn't have kids until 52 years old. So ABL has time. Well, hey, there we go. Shout out Grant Cardone. Rex Rocker says, never really wanted babies, but I not want a lady to end it if that happened. I want to be a father. Exactly. 100%. All right. Let me see. Steve says, ABL, you need your own Brad Pitt on Fight Club in your life. Don't knock up no HOs. I never did that, man. I've been super responsible. Very responsible. All right. Tim the Beard says, hey, you got to get you a woman that first get to work. Hey, that ain't no problem. That ain't no problem. that ain't never been no problem since I've been a young man. It's just a matter of, okay, do I want to go out there, pop out and have kids? But anyway, let's keep on rocking and rolling. You thought I had a wife. I was married, but that didn't work. I'm not sure marriage is for me. Because I'm like in my regular life, I'm super like militant, hardcore militant type of Like, you see my house, like I did my Instagram live, my house spotless. It's always like that. Somebody said, do you have a maid? Do you have house help? Nah, that's just ABL. I'm super like, in order to be living with me, you got to be something else. Old girlfriend of mine told me, whoever you be with got to be strong, like real strong. The type strong to get, I ain't gonna say that. Just very strong. And that's not everybody, and it's okay. All right, I was married for a while. I ain't gonna get it. We ain't gonna do all that right now. Let's get to some calls and super chats. All right. If you like what you're hearing tonight, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all the good stuff that helped me out tremendously. Get African woman. So you're thinking. That's what I'll probably end up doing that, because in West Virginia, we were like isolated. So we're kind of close to African. I know Africans and we're very similar to each other. So that's probably what I end up doing. Or an African American that's similar to me who kind of grew up like that. We did not grow up in the poisonous urban inner city African culture until I got to be out here in Virginia, where I got influenced by that. But when I was a kid, I will always see them like outside and I always was above that, in my opinion. I was always like not part of that type of culture because we didn't come from that type of culture. It's like being the first generation immigrant. I've always said it. I said it on the High Twins. It's like being a Nigerian and you got Nigerian parents and you growing up in America. You seeing one thing outside, when you come home, it's something totally different. That's how I was. I never saw my parents curse. We just didn't do a lot of the urban inner city stuff. Laquifa, I would never. I would never. No. All right, male older brides. Nah, we ain't doing that. Shout out to, but nah, not like that. I'm talking about an African that's right here in America. An African, like somebody that got African parents. That's probably the best way. But anyway, we got super chats on deck. Shout out to Apu Bakar All Puff Daddy, who says the Janky Witch is back. Nina Jankowicz, Biden administration official, addressed EU Parliament. She accused President Trump of censorship. Funny because Democrats arrested reporters and censored social media. They get to the Whiteman for gifting 10 ABL memberships. I appreciate you for that, boss. They get to Apu again, who says Minnesota DA not charging suspect in Tesla vandalism, even though it's on video. Your opinion? Two-tier justice system. What should conservatives do? Well, what can you do in a place like Minnesota? And that goes back to my whole thing about Derek Chauvin. You see, you have to understand that when the Daily Wire talking about, let's let President Trump pardon Chauvin, it's like, how dumb are you? Do you understand he has state and federal charges? He's in the federal joint right now. So if you pardon him on the federal level, he's still going to do state time for the same amount of time he's going to do anyway. He was serving 2 sentences concurrent of the same amount of time. So you send him to the state joint, it's going to be a worse prison, and he will not come home because now you put in his fate in Minnesota's hands, and they're not going to let him out. You got a DA, the judge or whatever, refusing to keep a Tesla vandal. You already know what time it is. It's up to those living in Minnesota to get them out of office. 1861DV says, local politics get involved. I've been told that for years. I told y'all before that I was at a dinner with the governor, Bill Lee, Speaker of the House, Cameron Sexton, and a few more people. My friend was there, Robin Smith. She got locked up, unfortunately. But that's a whole different story. It was quite a few of us there. I think Bill Haggerty was there. But I'm at the table talking to Bill Lee. I'm talking to Cameron Sexton. I'm talking to everybody. And then there's a big mega donor right there as well. Big mega donor right there next to me. And he's talking to me. Within the first, I say 1 minute, he was like, hey, you want to run? You thought about running? He already saw it instantly within the first minute. I get that question all the time. And I've been getting it since I've been young, since I've been like in my early 20s. from friends and family. They've been talking like that before YouTube, before any of that. They would say, you got to run. So if enough of y'all keep asking me, then I'm going to do it. I got a good friend of mine who's in office right now, local friend of mine. He's in office right now. So I might have to talk to him and be like, yo, what are we doing? You need somebody else. You need an ally locally. Let's do it. Thank you to Rebel Without a Reason, who says, did you hear about Kanye and his cousin? He released a song detailing their incestuous relationship. Yeah, I did hear about that. I ain't going to say exactly what he did because we got little kids watching, but him and his male cousin were fornicating when they were young, like kids, under the age of 14. Now, I'm going to say this. There's a lot of that going on, and people don't say anything. And sometimes these guys are the down low gay dudes that don't talk about how they're gay, but they do gay activities behind the scenes. What's your man's name from Florida? The guy who almost beat DeSantis, but thank God he didn't beat him. The black dude, I forget his name. I know what I'm talking about. The guy who got busted by Candace Owens in the room with them big bodybuilding white dudes. He was married, wife and kids, all of that. But then he go off and, be with the white boys in the hotel. That stuff happens a lot, and you would never know. You would never know. Thank you to Lou Maldonado, who says, outstanding ABL. Thank you for that. Yeah, Gillum. Thank you. Yep. Gillum. Guys like that, Andrew Gillum. Guys like that are all over the place. A lot of them are in Atlanta. I see it a lot. I see guys like I've been around some of these guys. Not like that. I'm not gay or nothing like this. I never do no stuff like that. I like women. But for real, I love women. But I see these guys and how they act. And they'll say little things to you, and you kind of understand what's going on. I'm like, nah, I'm good, bro. Don't worry about it. Yeah, they'll try you and see if you kind of understand their lingo. The one thing about it, they kind of know each other. So, nah, I'm good. I'm good on that. But I see a lot of them guys down there. A lot of white guys, too. It's not a race thing. Thank you to Cardinal Flanagan, who says, now I'm wondering, did they film Van Hollen trying to give the Maryland man a conjugal? Exactly. Shout out to California Dreaming, who says, grooming favor of 20 million illegal immigrants to vote the midterms. Thank you to Walmart Tavius, who says, ABL finally leaving the left coast, was able to transfer my job to Huntsville, Alabama. Hey, man. Right on, man. Congrats for leaving the left coast and coming down to Alabama. You're going to like the South. It's nice. It's nice. But Walmart Tavius also says, no more liberal females crashing out on me because toxic masculinity. Exactly. 100% correct, man. So, yeah, shout out to you, Walmart Tavius. Congratulations on that, man. It's a good move. Thank you to Old Cat Lady, who says, keep on broadcasting the truth. Will do. Thank you to Gregortron, who says, get him ABL. Absolutely. All righty. Let's keep rocking and rolling. Y'all know the drill. The number to call, 434-658. No, it's not. 706-406-3287. Again, 706 right there on the picker. 706-406-3287. The number is always in the description box. Also in the ticker below me. At a certain point, it'll pop up like it just was. One more time. 706-406-3287. Let's get rocking and rolling. Yeah, I've been saying that 423 for years, so I got to get used to saying something else now. All righty, let's go ahead and turn them on. Yes, his username is Walmart Tavius. Absolutely. You see him right there in the chat. Shout out to you, man. Yeah, enjoy Huntsville. Huntsville is a good spot. 915 hit online. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, what's up, ABL? Am I the first caller?
Yes, you are.
Nice. Yeah, I wanted to talk to you about the first thing I want to talk to you about is forgiving student loan debt. How would you feel about forgiving student loan debt for public service, like workers, like such as nurses, teachers, anybody involved in public service, like in those fields?
Nah, because now what does that mean? Like, is that going to be just for now, or is it going to be forever? Like, we just forgive people that have these jobs?
It's more like of an incentive to do these jobs because a lot of people don't want to be doing these jobs actually because the pay's not that great, like such as teaching, for example. Nursing also is a similar story. A lot of people feel like they're underpaid for the work that they do.
So, okay, but is it forever? Like, are you going to get a free education if you become a nurse?
I think that there should be a balance. I think that you should be a nurse for like an X amount of years. I'd say like probably 6 years, something like that. Like, be a nurse for 6 years and be making payments. And if you're still not done with completing your all your payments, then, have it be forgiven.
I don't think so, because here's something else though. A lot of these nurses make a lot of money. Somebody said it in the chat. They make a lot of money. I mean, travel nurses, I don't know. They make a ton. So it's like, okay, you are getting this particular degree to invest in yourself, and you can make a lot of money doing it. So I don't think that's really fair to anybody else, because a lot of people have jobs that pay less than nurses and they don't have their loans forgiven.
Okay. How do you feel about like other jobs? So like such as Border Patrol, social workers, teachers, like these jobs that actually don't make as much as nurses do.
I'm not really in favor. I'm not really in favor of forgiving student loan debt, period. I think what needs to happen is we need to make it more affordable, which would mean getting the government out of it.
Okay, yeah, I guess addressing the root causes, right? Like making school more affordable is what you're saying?
Absolutely, because the reason why it's so expensive is because you get a blank check from the government. Because regardless of whether you pay the loan back or not, the school still gets paid because the government pays it. And the government can take your money from you in a variety of ways that a private lender cannot do.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I am open-minded. I do agree with you on that. Also, the last question I have for you is, what does ABL do like on a daily? What did you do today? Like, what was the first thing you did when you woke up?
When I got up today, I did a little bit of exercising, did my push-ups, of course. That's my normal routine in the morning. Gotta, wash the hind parts. Gotta just make sure that everything's good. I go check on my lawn. If I gotta water my plants, if my grass is good. I just check on my house to see what's going on. Then I'm reading newspapers. I'm reading the news. I'm seeing what's going on. And then that's how I'm able to figure out what I'm gonna do today. I didn't see too much to do today. So today I was doing just house stuff. And then of course I gotta cook and eat. That's pretty much what I do throughout the day. I'm on the phone a lot. I'm answering emails a lot, handling behind the scenes type of stuff.
All right. And my bad. One more last question, I promise. It's the last one.
Okay, go ahead.
And when you first started like live streaming, right, did you ever get nervous? Like when you had like 10 people and then boom, all of a sudden there's like 100 people watching you. Like, did you ever get nervous, like, presenting in front of all these people?
No, because I've always been comfortable speaking in front of crowds. I never got nervous. I mean, like I've always, back when I was a kid, like I might be in a play, or I got a public speaking class, or reading in front of the class. Never got nervous doing that. I was always able to read well in front of a class. Or like, when you get called on, okay, all right, Anthony, your turn to read. I never got nervous doing that. And I think that's kind of where it starts. I think some people get nervous when it comes time to read or articulate themselves or express themselves. When I was a kid, they thought that I would be a preacher or something when I got to be older, because I was always comfortable being able to talk in front of people.
Nice. All right, cool. I'm gonna keep listening to the calls. Thank you, ABL.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate it.
All right, peace.
All right, yeah. I never got nervous speaking in front of people. I've always been kind of a natural when it came to that. Yeah, I was always able to just talk. All right, that's my thing. All right, but some people, they get nervous, man, because they think somebody say you're talking to a camera. It's not even about that, because people get nervous because they think that they're conscious about being watched by a lot of people. They'll see the people in the chat. Like, let's say I got a big stream and it's like 15,000 watching. Their mind is focused on that number. It's 15,000 watching me. I wonder what they think about me. I can't talk, and they're focused on what they think. But I don't really worry about that. I just express myself. Yeah, that's my thing. And I've spoken. I've done public speaking engagements. I'm the kind of guy, I will talk to you. I love small talk. If you stop me in the street, I will talk to you. I might talk you to death. I'm one of those guys. I'm the kind of guy you meet at the gas station, and I'll talk to you for a long time. So I don't get nervous talking to people or talking in front of a crowd. Yeah, exactly. That's right, Relentless. You can't be worried about what people think about you. You just gotta. Yeah, I've never been nervous speaking in front of a crowd ever. All right, let me see. Kelly says, preacher, father ABL, if he starts having babies, we'll call him daddy. Y'all are funny. All righty, let's keep rocking. 559, you're on speaker 2.
Uh-oh. Hello?
Hello?
Oh, ABL, Patrick from California. How's it going?
Going well, man. How about yourself?
Hey, good, man. Good hearing from you. I hope all is well. Concerning the $5,000 one-time payment per child, per baby that Donald Trump and I suppose he's getting the idea from Elon Musk and possibly Carrie Lake. I know Carrie Lake spoke about it in her campaign a little bit as well. Do you think that this could be something that could be taken advantage of?
Oh, of course. People could take advantage of it. You could have people that should not really be having children, just having kids because they want to get that money.
Right. I see it that way myself. I see that this could be abused as bad, if not worse, in the welfare system. And I don't know if there's any sort of threshold or any sort of like minimum that people have to meet to be accepted to this one-time payment or not. But I think that there should be very intense oversight, and there should be a threshold that should be very strict as well. Like, you should be like a middle-class person with a home, you should have your own vehicle, and you should have like a stable job at minimum, like not just like a hourly job, but I feel some sort of a career. Do you kind of feel like if this does go through that there should be requirements for that as well?
Well, I don't know about that because that'll be seen as like the rich getting richer, because if you already have a home and you're middle class, it's like you're trying to get more. It should be more for like, I think the main thing should be that you're married. Okay, so if you're married and you've been married for a while and it's not fraud and you're working, that should be the main thing.
Right. Yeah, I didn't see it that way. That like people who are maybe struggling a little bit on the low income side could qualify for that, but they got their head straight. They're not doing anything. They don't have a record. Yeah, I could totally see that. Okay. On my third point, ABL, and then I'll let you go. And I get a lot of heat from this to where I've just stopped asking people in public because it always winds up being a fight. But to the LGBTQ community, why did they choose the rainbow as their flag? And I swear I've been like, chased my vehicle over this question. People are like, oh, you're homophobic, this, that, the third. No, it's just a simple question. And I'm not sure if of course, but I just was curious, what do you think that they chose these specific colors, this rainbow, and these symbols for the LGBTQ movement? Why didn't they just do, I don't know, like anything else?
That's a good question. I don't know the answer to it, but that's a good question. As far as the original rainbow LGBT flag, now they got all these new colors, of course, and we know why they did that. They would talk about the black and the brown, and then the transgender, all those different things. But as far as the initial rainbow, I don't know why they chose that color specifically. Yeah, it is interesting. I know it's in the Bible, God's rainbow, but I don't know if they did that intentionally or if there was something behind that
for another reason. But anyway, ABL, you know what? Thanks so much for your time. I won't keep you any longer. God bless you, sir, as always. God bless the United States of America, and take care.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate it. All right. Shout out to the caller. All right. I was a little bit too slow on that one. I almost had somebody. Let's go 904. You're online. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL. This is Nicky from Florida.
All right. What's happening?
I want to comment real quick on that last question about why they stole the rainbow before I get into something else. I think it's because so they could hijack every single color that was possible. I mean, how many colors are there? Like 250 bajillion colors, technically. So, I mean, I think they did it so that they could just create, you know, a rainbow flag or try to represent as many possible genders and sexualities as possible. That's why I think they did it, just to open it up so that they had some kind of way to just make whatever they want out of it.
Right.
I wanted to comment on the baby thing. I could have swore I read an article that said if it's your first baby, you get $5,000. That was the idea. I could be wrong, but I think that would make a lot more sense and prevent a lot more abuse if it was just kind of like a one-time thing. Like, hey, congratulations, it's your first baby, here's $5K. That'll prevent people from abusing it, I think. But that's all I wanted to say, man.
Well, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right. Have a good night, ABL.
I mean, that makes sense. You know, like just the first baby, rather than just having the kids over and over and over and over. 740, you're the line. I'm speaking to.
How you doing, ABL?
I'm doing well, man. How about yourself?
I'm pretty good. It's Jeff from West Virginia. Man, I tell you what, I thought I better call in and talk to you. You're dancing around one subject and you just sound silly about another one. So we'll talk about you. Sometimes you're asking about people voting for AOC. Listen, man, you know your mother, your sister, and aunt. Maybe, unfortunately, your boss is a woman. Would you vote for any of those? Probably not. Right?
That's right.
So that's just silly. So really, what women do we have to vote for? Pocahontas, AOC, the gal named Crockett who dresses like Django as he's riding up on Big Daddy's plantation. These are not the choices, man. Listen, if AOC or Lady Django wants my vote, they can bake an apple pie and enter it at the fair. Or maybe they can come down to the Dewdrop Inn on Wednesday night when it's ladies' night and there's a wet T-shirt contest. Other than that, men, do not be going in there and voting for, this is a real election, right?
That's right. Absolutely.
And man, listen, I got to tell you this. You sound absolutely silly when you say having kids without a wife. ABL, come on. Man, you're better than that. Look at yourself in the mirror. You look better than me. Apparently, man, like, listen, by the time I was 18, I was given the two things. And listen, these are facts, men, and you have to accept them. These are the two things you need to know. When I was 18, I was working with a fella, and he was a construction worker. We did roofs, things like that. And he said, Junior, 18 to 80, they're all crazy. Just pick one. And the second thing you need to know, I was in high school football. I was 15. We were all making fun of one of our friends because he was dating a girl that wasn't real pretty and slightly overweight. And he told us, you shouldn't make fun of him for that because, boys, when you turn them upside down, they're all twins. If you can accept those two things, ABL, go forward and find yourself a wife. But with that information, like 6 months, if you can accept those realities, you're good.
Okay, well, hey, that's good advice from you.
That's it. Uncle Jeff needed to call in. I seen in the super chats earlier, somebody was talking about, when you catch interviews from West Virginia. I really hope I didn't disappoint super chat. All right. Well, have a good night, ABL, and let's see if you can get a liberal to call in after this one.
Right on, man. Thank you for your call. Definitely appreciate you.
All right. Bye, buddy.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Great call from West by Guide for sure. Let's go 301 your line speaker to.
Oh, it's Tom. What's going on, Anthony?
Ain't too much, man. What's happening?
Hey, I like the topic to what you got going on today. And Uncle Jeb, man, he's a boss, man. I could just sense the wisdom coming from it.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so the Trump 5,000 baby bonus, I don't agree with the 5,000 by itself, or some of the ideas that they got. I think what they're doing is they're collecting information. They're definitely trying to incentivize people to have a little bit of common sense, but I think it'll go in the opposite direction, quite possibly, if they do it incorrectly, just like any other kind of policy that could possibly go wrong. Unfortunately, I was unable to get your opinion on it because I tuned in a little bit late, but I did send in some ideas to him today on because I sent him the idea a while ago, but it's not just like my idea. I think they were all thinking the same thing. We got to incentivize the right thing in the country, but I'm not saying that's for everybody, right? But I think what they should do, they should look at interest rates differently. I think that they should focus on grade-dated incentives. So, like, okay, you have a child, right? Okay, boom, give you a little bit of interest rate, or give you some kind of incentive each, when they're born. Let's say if there's a miscarriage, give them something for that. You feel me? Let's say they got a quinceañera, give them something for that. Let's say that the family subjectively is celebrating something, a new child-related positive event. Give them something for that, but up to once a year. You know what I'm saying? Then you can incentivize keeping the benefit or the incentive year by year. You understand? So each year you're doing something positive for your child, and you're also getting benefited at the same time to keep the process going. That's what I sent him. I sent him that earlier today, but I think it should be like a gradated process, and it should be something to maintain or just qualify for having some kind of incentive to benefit the child, not just having the child, benefit the child as well as having a child.
Okay, I see your point of view.
Yeah, so I sent them that. We'll see what's going on. I don't think he's going to just publish this, obviously. He's running it by the people. And then I think on your other subject, what would you, if you could quickly tell me what you were thinking on this subject, because I tuned in late. I'm sorry.
As far as the 5,000 for a baby, the incentive to have more. I don't think that the money incentive is really going to work. I think that you got to just have a societal change, because all Western nations are battling the same problem. So there needs to be a deep structural change in society in the way that it operates, because there's other factors going on. You got people that are boycotting marriage. They want to stay single. They want to enjoy their youth, and they don't want to, they want to kind of put off adulthood. They want to delay adulthood. You got a bunch of 24-year-old children out here. So it's like, okay, how are we going to have kids if you're trying to delay this process until you get to be 40 years old? For a man, it's okay, kind of a little bit, but for the woman, it's impossible. You're 40 years old trying to have kids for the first time. You need to be having kids in your early 20s. Like, y'all both need to be in your early 20s having kids. That's when it's supposed to happen. So when you get to be 40 years old, your kids are grown, and you could be a good grandparent. Like, that's the way it's supposed to be. So
exactly, right? You're supposed to be around when you're a grandparent, right?
Yeah, so it's like people will rather kind of do other things than have a family, unfortunately, especially those of us who need to be having kids, the best of us. The worst of us just have kids willy-nilly, and they don't really care. And these are the people that grow up to become criminals often. Not all the time, but often. So you got to have a societal change in general to make that whole thing really work.
Hey, for sure. We don't want to trigger nobody. You know, some people out here might take offense. We ain't trying to label everybody as a criminal, but we looking at you though. We see you.
Right.
But yeah, I ain't trying to take too much more of your time, boss. Did you see the education executive orders today?
No, I didn't.
There's $1 million. The goal, it's a lofty goal, But the goal is to get 1 million apprenticeships to partner with a bunch of schools and private businesses and other industry and other, not just assembly, but manufacturing kind of jobs, construction, journeyman, all of that, HVAC, everything. They're aiming for 1 million of them. So,
well, hey, we need that. We definitely need that in the country. I think if we could get more kids, young people involved in the trades, that could help us in a lot of different ways because we need it.
Yeah, it's amazing. I don't think he came up with this on his, I don't think it's just my idea, but I did send him, I told him to do this shit. I'm sorry, I cussed again. But I told him to do it. I'm not sure if it has anything to do with me, but he's getting it out there early. And I think this is extreme. People have been asking for this kind of stuff for decades. And it's time, it's really time for, I'm not going to say a renaissance, but a complete flip of this so-called, it's really evil, to be honest, in my opinion, that what they did is they said, well, you're a good person. We have a good society if we're deindustrialized. I think that's the most, it's like warfare, like psychological warfare. But I think it's a wonderful thing. I'm treating today as a holiday. So that's all I wanted to talk to you about, boss.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, you too.
All right, shout out to the caller. And shout out to you guys for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you are hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. And the number to call is 706-406-3287. Again, 706-406-3287. All right, Ivan, what's up?
Hey, what's going on?
It's all good. What's going on?
Hey, man. First of all, the congressman that went down to El Salvador, he didn't go because he wanted to free somebody that have committed a crime. You know what it is. You know why.
So he wanted to free an MS-13 gang member?
He can't free him. He wanted to bring him back to the U.S. so he could have his trial here in the U.S. with the immigration judge.
How are you going to bring him back if you don't free him because he's in prison?
Well, I mean, what happened is the Trump administration got to do that, but it's not going to do it because he got to deal with the president of El Salvador, with Bukele. And this is not just about him. And that's what the Democrats should get it together. This is about all the atrocities that this administration has committed. They sent 372 Venezuelans to El Salvador. I think less than 3% have committed crimes here, but the rest are not committed crimes. And even then, they committed crimes. You cannot detain someone without being charged.
Okay,
you can't detain someone according to the Constitution without being charged. So, nevertheless, send it to another country.
So, if what you're saying is true, then why aren't the congressmen?
It's not what I'm saying.
Okay. Let me just talk.
As an American, you should know that.
Let me just finish what I got to say. If what you're saying is true, then why aren't the congressmen and women saying that?
They're saying that. Are you?
No, they're not. All they talk about is Kilmar Abrego Garcia. You talking about Venezuelans? Why are they not talking about that?
I don't know why they're not talking about Venezuela, but you cannot send someone to another country and put in a maximum security prison without charge. They should be talking about Mahmoud. They should be talking about the other guy from Columbia University. They should be talking about the other guy that came legally with a visa from Colombia. The woman from here, from the PhD student from Tufts University. They are not getting it together because what they're doing is an atrocity.
Wait. Hold on. Now I got to correct you because I showed a video today where they were talking about Mahmoud, Ayanna Presley, and a few more people talking about Mahmoud. And where is Mahmoud at?
It's in a jail cell.
But where? Like what?
It's in Louisiana. It's not in Mexico. It's not in El Salvador. But still, you cannot hold somebody in a prison cell, detain, whatever it is not being charged with a crime.
Yes, you can.
George W. Bush, listen, I'm trying to help you out. You don't know what's going on. George W. Bush did this in 2001 with the Patriot Act. You remember the Patriot Act? What happened with the Patriot Act?
The Patriot Act, what about it?
Okay. So during the Patriot Act, President Bush decided to go out after people that were Muslims and some Arabs and hold them without charging them in a jail cell. The Supreme Court intervened and said, look, we got to review the whole Patriot Act, and they have to dismantle some of the things. Because some of the things in the Patriot Act says that the government could hold you indefinitely without being charged, and that's unconstitutional.
Okay, so I got a question. Sir, I have a question. So why were they held in the jail cell? Is it just because they're a Muslim and no other reason?
What? Which one are you talking about? With
Patriot Act, yes.
I don't know why they were in the jail cell. They have to hold them somewhere, right?
So you don't know why they were there, but you got a problem with them being there?
Well, I have a problem if someone comes to you, take you out of your house, hold you, and don't charge you with a crime. That means what you're doing, you're skipping the what do you call it, that part of the Constitution where you're supposed to. You cannot hold me without. I'm presumption of innocent, right? But so how could you not charge me with a crime and hold me in a jail cell or whatever situation is?
Okay, but see, you said that they were Muslim and stuff like this, but then you say you don't know why they were being held. So if they're Muslim or whatever, why does it matter?
Because the Patriot Act were saying that they could hold you for future investigation. But that's unconstitutional because no one could hold you in this country without being charged of a crime.
Well,
that's why you have due process.
Excuse me, that is a bad example to mention because you don't know why they're being held. So you can move on to something else.
Well, because they're violating their rights.
Okay.
Do you know what happened to these kids? These two American kids.
Who?
One from Guatemala. That was a U.S. citizen. Do you know what happened to him?
What happened?
In Florida. So he came from Georgia, traveling to Florida. The police stopped him, and they arrested him because he was an illegal immigrant. He showed his license. He said, "Oh, that license is from Georgia. We don't tell license from outside. You're an illegal." They took him to to a custody. They put him in a jail cell in one of these immigration facilities. His mother, first of all, he couldn't even make a call. He couldn't call anyone. That even people that killed someone in this country, they give you a chance to call your lawyer and to call your family member. He couldn't call anyone. The reason that he knew because it was with other co-workers that told him, "Ma'am, hey, it's being taken away," and the other guys were white. So they went down there with the birth certificate. The immigration officer said, "No, this is fake." They almost about to send him to El Salvador in a bus. The only thing that they just say, "Hold on, we need to review this," and they let him go. Another one.
So wait. So how long was he there?
Was there for 2 days.
Okay.
Even an hour, 2 hours. Do you want that happen to you? Do you want somebody go to your house and confuse you with a Haitian or an African and send you?
Look, man,
and then don't let you call your mom or your family member that bail you out that you're an American?
Look, man,
at the
end of the day, mistakes happen.
Oh, but dude, are you aware what's going on? They're sending letters, they're sending emails to lawyers that they have to leave the country. Are you aware of anything what's going on?
I'm aware.
Are you aware of what's going on here?
I know a lot.
I guess it have to happen to a white person, blue eyes, a white guy. Take him into custody for a few days and saying that it's illegal. So for the people to react against this administration, I guess that's what it takes, right? That's what it's going to happen.
You know, the funny part is your elected officials are only talking about the criminal alien with the MS-13 gang tattoos on his hands, and they're not speaking about those individuals. You know what? Wait. Excuse me. I watch these people talk. I showed the videos.
You only play videos. I just told you that.
No. Wait. No. I'm gonna talk. You're gonna be quiet for a moment. Now, they're going on Sunday shows. They're not talking about anybody else other than they talk about two people, Kilmar Abrego Garcia and Mahmoud Khalil. That's it. They don't talk about anybody that was innocent and got locked up, and they don't talk about that at all. So my thing is, rather than making this whole big thing about Kilmar Abrego Garcia and going to El Salvador and trying to get him out, they should speak on who you're speaking about. What you're saying is true. That should be a slam. That should be pretty easy. But see, your people on your side talk about criminal aliens and those that want to disrupt rather than regular, everyday, innocent people. I wonder why.
So I'm going to start again. What you're saying is not true. You know Alan Presley from Massachusetts? She went to see the one that was arrested here from Tufts University and the one from Boston University. That's
just what I said. It's just what I said. Mahmoud Khalil.
Well, let me explain to you. You just didn't see it on the news. Doesn't mean that didn't happen.
No. I just said. I showed the video. The one you talking. Listen. Wait. I'm gonna talk now. You gonna be quiet. I literally showed Alan Presley going to the actual ICE facility in Louisiana tonight. I showed it. So you're not telling the truth now. I'm talking about, you're talking about people earlier, the Guatemalan that was an American citizen. They're not talking about them. They're talking about the guy that was
maybe they don't.
No. They're talking about Romeo Ozturk. They're talking about Mahmoud Khalil. They're talking about Kilmar Abrego Garcia. They're not talking about nobody else. I wonder why.
Do you know why they might not know? Because it's not reflecting a lot in American media. Go and watch Telemundo.
Excuse me. These are our elected officials. So you telling me they don't know? The Democrats, they don't know?
I don't know if they don't. I don't know if they know. But
right.
What I know, this is true.
Okay.
His mother was talking in Telemundo. If you watch Telemundo and Univision,
but see, look,
these cases have been happening here in America.
Look. Wait. I'm gonna talk now. The thing about it is, why are you telling me this? You should tell your elected officials, your Democrats. These are the ones that are championing your cause. I'm not done. These are the ones championing your cause. Why are you crying to me about it? I'm not the one that will report that kind of stuff. It'll be them because that's their thing that they're trying to really champion. They're trying to down that hill. So rather than talking at me, you should talk to the Democrats.
So the Republicans should not support for the law? So only the Democrats
the Democrats are the ones who say that there's a problem with what the Republicans are doing. So they should be the ones you talk to get the message out there rather than trying to cry to me about it.
Dude, you saying that they went down there, they're defending a criminal, you post a video with people that are ignorant to the matter because they don't know, from Fox News saying, well, they were trying to bring this criminal, they're trying to bring... This is not about him, if they've been charges in the past. This is what they're doing to him without approval of our Constitution. If the Constitution if they do it to one person, what make you believe they cannot do it to other people?
Do what?
They could do it to America. They could do it to you. Let's assume 4 years from now a Democratic president comes in and he's like, well, I don't like these YouTubers talking against me, and then somebody comes to you at 2 o'clock in the morning, kidnap you and take you somewhere. Nobody can find you. So that's why you need to stand for the law now.
Man, please. At the end of the day, nobody cares about these people. The Democrats don't care.
Okay, you don't care.
Don't nobody care about these migrants. Don't nobody care. See, what you don't understand is the Democrats brought these migrants over here, and now that their now that their use is no longer required, they are being sent away, and nobody cares if there is an innocent person caught in the crossfire. And you're not being totally honest, because if you were being totally honest, these Democrats know a lot. They know all of what's going on. They know enough to go down to the ICE facility and talk about Mahmoud Khalil and Romeo Ozturk, but they don't know when to talk about these quote unquote innocent people that got detained. Please stop. Have a good night. But look, if it's true that an innocent person was detained and almost got deported, that should be on the news all the time. They're only focusing on people that want to come over here and be rabble rousers and act a fool. That's all they're focused on. I'm reading the newspaper. I'm watching the Sunday shows. I'm looking at everything. All I talk about, Romeo Ozturk, Mahmoud Khalil, Kilmar Garcia. That's it. So yeah, shout out to them. Let's keep on rocking and rolling. Let's go 504. Get on line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL, it's Alien Spaceship.
All right, man. What's happening?
All right. Shout out to you and the callers, and I've been enjoying the show and the chat very much. And also, I love your faces with these things that you react to and with Ivan, and they're very comedic. And so, basically, with the situation, I'll address like what he was saying about how he was saying somebody innocent was detained over in the other country. If I got that right, or somebody in Louisiana, I may be getting it mixed up. But basically, anyway, he's concerned about the situation if the country were to go into a direction where they were like doing political attacks on people and stuff like that. And of course, this would be a concerning situation if we were to go, somebody switch it over and went after us specifically or another group. But I would say that in this situation, it was somebody that was into, these cartels that they're trying to get away from here because causing a threat to our country, and the people in that region did not want the person there anyway. So I do not think in this situation, at least at this moment, it's like what he's saying, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm not really convinced that what he's saying is correct.
Right. And it's also, a democracy is like a whisper, like they said in the Gladiator movie, and it could instantly go away. But as I said, at this point, I do not think that anything that they're doing is leading to that. Now, the future, I'd say I'd be more concerned with the Democrat side of, right now everything's fine, but we'll see about that when the time comes, but everything should be fine for now. And also, the Tesla and the other stocks, they did a little bit better today.
Oh yeah, of course they're gonna rebound eventually.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Everything's gonna, in my opinion, will rebound, and a lot of it's a scare. Like people are nervous. It's more than like the American economy will stay afloat. In my opinion, it's just that people are afraid and nervous about the tariffs, and then eventually, I'd say in the long term, everything will go back up to what it's supposed to be.
Absolutely.
Right, and also, yeah, I was looking up about the gay flag out of curiosity, and also Camo Barbie also mentioned it. So basically, it was created by Gilbert Baker in 1978, and the person wanted to use the rainbow as a way to the different orientations and genders they believe in, of the diversity of their people in that umbrella that or identify as that. That is their answer about why they made it a rainbow. But it could also have other meanings too. But that is the reason that they gave.
Okay, I see.
Right, and also very true about the birth rates in crisis. And of course, people don't have to have children, and there may be people that shouldn't have kids, which is really a greater problem, a societal problem, where it's creating and breeding people that may not be suited as parents. But of course, people could do what they like. So, for instance, over in China, they have one of the largest populations in the world, and they're not necessarily our best friend. And there's other areas, that have populations that are doing good. Although Elon said clearly that it's global, that there's a population decline. Now, I think the West, with maybe perhaps certain policies and ideologies they went into, it caused a population decrease, in my opinion.
It definitely did, for sure.
But as I said, I believe that I'm optimistic always, and that in the future it'll eventually go back up. And the migrants, I don't think we would necessarily have to do that what the left was suggesting, but they always did that from the time of slavery. They always wanted to, they wanted slaves to do their, deeds. That's what they want the migrants for. But as I think with the Trump in there, it should go in a better direction, and also having people that are doing in a better mental direction to even have kids in the first place.
Yeah, we definitely need that, because if you got these parents out here that are just doing the wrong thing, mistreating the kids, you got now we still got a problem.
Exactly. And kids need good role models, and they need good nurturing. It's like a plant. Like you were saying, you have plants, and I do too. And plants need good nurturing, good climate to do well. Because I remember you were saying before that kids could be 15 years old and they'll pass away or be in jail or something, and that certainly does need to change and not be like that.
Right, absolutely.
All right, and my other point is about the other side, politically. A lot of times these essential political figures, they will go and attack Elon, and they will attack or they'll defend, say, the Joe Brandon, because they're doing it for political stunts, because they're interested in their own existence. Like California, there's all kinds of hotels and places. Everything's getting run down and destroyed with homelessness because they were just concerned about their own political gain. But they're not. Their main concern is not our country, but it's their own political agenda and also their money.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. And regarding the loans and stuff, basically, I do think if people could do different trades where they don't have to necessarily go to expensive college, which college would be very good, it would be best for them to do that if they're not able to pay it back. But, it's something, as you said, that it's always happened. And I do think it's good for people to have a plan to pay it back, like what you were saying, and plan ahead, because if you don't, plan ahead, you could cause someone could cause himself a problem.
Definitely. I agree.
Right. And also, in the Lori Vallow trial, she was found guilty, thankfully.
In the what trial now?
The Lori Vallow trial I mentioned to you last time.
Okay.
Now I'm watching the Karen Reed one, and there's a civil war between the two different sides who think guilty and innocent, and it's very entertaining.
Well, hey, we'll see. May the best person win.
All right. Okay, ABL, that's all to say for this call. Thank you for taking my call.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Goodbye.
All righty. That will be a wrap for me. Shout out to you guys. If you couldn't get on tonight, don't blame me. Blame the white man, because it ain't my fault. But I'll be back live again on Saturday. Same bat time, same bat place. 8 p.m. Eastern time to right around right now, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I think I'm going to start doing Instagram lives on the Tuesday. So again, I'll be back live here on the YouTubes Saturday as normal, 8 p.m. Eastern time. So right around right now, 11 p.m. And I'll probably do IG lives on the Tuesday. I might start at like 9 or 10 o'clock. I'll let you know about that. But definitely the same streaming schedule for the YouTubes. Y'all please follow me everywhere. Follow my Rumble, my social media, all of that on the website. Uncle ABL coming right back. Everything. Bob Tyre, you got a question? Ask a question, Bob Tyre. It's all good. I'm here for a little while. You might not be able to get onto the call, but ask a question while I'm here. But thank you all for watching the video, retweeting, super chatting, whatever you're doing. I could not do the show without you. Thank you to the mods for keeping them trolls in check. I appreciate y'all for that as well. I got super chats to read right here. Then I wrap it on up and put the bowl clean on top. Thank you to Hammerhead716 who says, you cracked me up with you all the way. Thank you for that, boss. Appreciate you. Thank you to Randy, Dale, Franklin for becoming a member or being a member, who says, love the content. Love you, my brother, man. Hey, right on, man. Thank you. Appreciate you, boss. Thank you to Gregortron who says, I don't remember Ivan complaining about Sloppy Joe. Yeah. I mean, it's weird. It's like, okay, you say these innocent people got detained and they were American citizens. That should be who you focus on. Put them on TV. Put them in the newspaper. But you want to focus on criminals, MS-13 gang members, guys that beat their wife, guys that get locked up for human trafficking on a suspicion of human trafficking. Then you want to champion guys who go get a green card and go to college and start civil unrest. It's weird. Capital of the Andaman Islands. What are you talking about, Bald Tire? Like, ain't no government over there. I don't know, man. We got to start asking questions that make sense. But no, shout out to you, Bald Tire. I appreciate it, man. Let's go ahead and, hey, man, let's go ahead and replace that Bald Tire. Let's get some tire with some trade on it. Get some tire with some trade on it, bro. I'm just playing. But shout out to you, man. I appreciate y'all. I think that will be a wrap for me. So until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out. And peace.